Hello, welcome to the Walk Home episode 2, and apparently that's still funny. I'm going to level with everybody. I told a lie. I said last week they were going to be more structured next week, and we're not doing the
We're
thing we
not.
said we would. We're just talking about more shit. But this time it's TV shows we're doing. I'm still Daniel,
And I'm still
still,
Courtney.
as far as I know. I'm pretty sure though.
Are you doubting like my existence?
Have you ever wondered though, like,
Oh God.
if like some people you know in Prestige? And like she's married to Christian Bale, but he's got the two twins, and some days he's like one of them and some days he's the other. Do you wonder if anybody else in your life is like that?
I'm like that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. You're the same all the time. I feel like I have more mood swings than you. No, but I mean like you're like consistently like happy and bubbly.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Sometimes I'm kind of like excited, and sometimes I'm just fucking depressed as shit.
It's like proper like
Yeah.
good days that you're excited, and I think even excited is a bit of a stretch.
Aye. Aye. I don't moan quite as much.
No.
I think that's me
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Anyway.
But then you have like your tiredness where you just talk absolute crap.
Balls, all good traits, I think, for a podcast host.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're doing TV 2016. Not particularly the best TV, just TV in general.
TV that we've watched in
Yeah,
2016.
pretty much, yep. TV that we've seen, and we give like our thoughts. Some of it's good, some of it's probably crap. I feel like TV though this year's been pretty good. I feel like TV
Yeah.
the last few years is just ramping up. The bigger Netflix gets and stuff and shows like that, and
But
HBO.
Netflix can come up with some crap as well, though.
Aye, but you know what I mean, no, like streaming services like that, the bigger,
Yeah.
your Amazon Prime and your Netflix and whatever, the bigger they kind of get, I feel like the more kind of quality is going to be out there.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about Game of Thrones, because I feel that was the first, was that the start of this year, it'd be marathon, that
I
wasn't
think
it?
so, yeah. I think it was like around about like this kind of time of year. It was just past Christmas.
That was like, yeah,
We didn't have anything to watch. So.
that was like the first thing that we really
Because when is it usually
watched
renewed?
this
When
year,
is it usually
like
out
April
again?
time.
Yeah.
So we watched it for like
yeah,
4 months,
yeah,
and
that
then,
makes sense. Yeah.
because it did take us a while to get through it.
Yeah.
And Sons of Anarchy was like the Christmas and New Year
Oh
before
my
that,
God.
wasn't it?
Oh my God. No.
Yes, I think it was.
No, it's not been like 2 years since we watched Sons of Anarchy. I promise you.
Okay.
Promise.
I think it was surprising.
I'm pretty damn sure it's not.
So when I was bored in work, I kind of wrote like mini reviews for some of these. Do you want me to read these and you can tell me what you think, or
Yeah, sure.
it's just like
Uh-huh.
a wee kind of like 4 or 5 lines, and it's only for the first 4 shows. So after that, it's just going to be ad-libbed. Right. I said about Game of Thrones, right? Marathon's a show at the beginning of the year, and although I like parts of it, it's really not worth the hype in my eyes, and it's basically just a high-end British fantasy drama. And the last season was good, but they killed off one of my favourite characters at the end of it, which I think was a mistake, because Ramsay was the best thing since Joffrey, and they killed him off.
You always really like the villains. Like,
No.
don't get me wrong, I love the villains. I do. Anything near enough, like, I love the villains, I love anti-heroes, everything, but I don't think they would have got away with not killing him. I don't think that's something they could have got away with.
I think I could have.
I mean,
They
to
could
be
keep moving
fair,
for a while.
I like Game
It was
of
like
Thrones.
2.5 seasons, was it? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. I like Game of Thrones, but yeah, like you, I don't think it's. My mum and dad say it's like the best show in the world. And
People love it.
I really don't think it is.
I think it's like, I really like some of the characters in it. I really dislike some of the characters in it. I like
Mhm.
Arya Stark, and I like
Yeah.
Tyrion, and I like Bronn, and I like their kind of bromance.
Yeah.
And I like Littlefinger, because I like Aidan Gillen, and
I
he's a wee
love
shite,
Aidan Gillen,
and he's
yeah.
just always stabbing people in the back. And I like Ramsay, and I like Joffrey. But I like Joffrey because I hate him. I actually did kind of like Ramsay.
Oh, I absolutely loved Joffrey, and
You just learned his name, aren't you?
no. Jack Gleeson. I knew it was Jack. I can't remember his surname. Jack Gleeson is just such a nice person.
Yeah, like Garrett acting to go and
He's so
volunteer in Africa,
so
didn't they?
nice. Yeah, something like that. He is so lovely. I know people that have like worked with him. and he's just a genuinely nice person. Shut up. And the fact that he can turn round and play somebody so horrible, that to me is the sign of a phenomenal actor. Like, he's especially because he's so young. Like, he's only 24, which means he was
that like his first big role?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, he's a wee guy in Batman Begins that Bruce Wayne gives the telescope to.
So
That's the
he is.
only other thing I know him from.
Yeah, everything else is just kind of
TV stuff.
all
British things.
good child or children.
See, that's the thing about Game of Thrones. I don't know, like, maybe it is just...
He's in something else to do with dragons.
I like how it's British, and I like how
Oh yeah, like the
there's English and
opportunities that
Irish
it
and Welsh
brings.
actors in it. Like, Ramsay was Welsh and Ian Gill is Irish, and most
Daniel
of the cast...
Portman,
Who's he?
Podrick, he was in my.
Oh, yeah. He went
he was
to
in my
college.
college.
And The Hound is Scottish as well.
Yeah, I like him though. He's a great.
So
actor.
it's good kind of for the British kind of acting economy, and it's good for the British economy in general because of tourism and stuff that comes out of it. But I don't know if it's just because maybe this is me being biased, but I don't put it in the same space in my head as your Walking Dead and your Breaking Bad and your...
I can see why people like it so much. I can see why. It's not necessarily
don't
my
think
cup of tea because I'm not like a Lord of the Rings
fantasy
fan
person.
or anything like that. But like,
And the best...
I can see why people like it so much.
The best parts of it are like the face-to-face battles, like people getting their faces chopped up and like... And then like stabbing in the back. That's the best thing about it. Like when it starts to bring on the fancy stuff like the dragons, or dragons are cool, but and then it starts to bring on like, the skeletons
like
and like people coming back for the dead, and yeah, like that's when it just starts to be like that. I don't know, that's the stuff. It's like,
but I think that's personal taste when it comes to us, though, because we don't like stuff like that.
But
see, like our friends who love Lord of the Rings and
Skyrim
stuff,
and all that, but then that
they
was,
love it.
But that was the best thing about Skyrim as well, was just slashing guys with a sword. Like that's
I've never even touched that game, but
like, well, in that game right at the start, you can go down here like, I'm a guy with I'm William Wallace basically with a big sword, or I'm Gandalf with all my spells. Do you know what I mean? And like Connor went the spell obviously, and I went, I'm going to take my sword and chop people's heads off obviously. Do you know what I mean? So aye, that shows you kind of the comparison.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
No, like I
It's
like some characters that you don't like. Like I like Sansa. I do. I didn't like her at the start. I didn't. She was a wee whiny wee bitch at the start, but I like her now.
She still annoys me though.
I like her, and I love Jon Snow.
He's
but like the mad.
I think he's overrated.
What's her face? Woman in Red or whatever.
Yeah, the
like,
witch.
Yeah, her.
What do you mean, Cassandra?
Melisandre.
Sorry.
There we go. I don't like her. She's a pain. She just annoys me.
Yeah,
I don't like her. But I quite liked Marjorie. I quite like Natalie Dormer's character.
Nah, she was nothing.
I like Missandei.
She the
Natalie
girl
Emanuel's
that was in
character?
Fast and Furious and all that.
Yeah. I like
she's
her
fine.
character.
And Grey Worm, they have like a thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love him. He's my favourite. I like Sam. You don't like Sam.
Nah,
But I like Sam.
Sam's a pussy ass
I
bitch.
think Sam's really cutie, and
I wish every time Sam almost died, I was like, kill him. She never did.
No, because they can't kill
Why?
Sam.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't. I like Sam. I love Lena Headey. I think Cersei is fantastic.
I don't like the character, but that's the point. Like, she's good in the role.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
I'm not supposed to, she's an absolute cow, but I love it.
But at the same time, though, I feel like until now she's always been a bit of a cow through it. But when Joffrey was there, he was a kind of antagonist, and then when Ramsay came in, he was a kind of antagonist. And Lena Headey was like always
she's
there,
been like a consistent cow.
but she's always been on the sidelines. But I feel like recently, like she blew everybody up in the last season. Like, she's like the major villain now.
And then her son just jumps out of the window.
That
Like,
was brilliant because he was a wee
I'm doing
arse
Titus
swallower.
Andronicus just now, which is a Shakespeare play. And
You're going to get a lot of that.
Yeah,
You laugh at me when I introduce it, so I'm going to take the piss at you.
Anyway, I'm doing Titus Andronicus, which is a Shakespeare play, and doing it is exactly like Game of Thrones. Like, it's Game of Thrones but old. And I think it's kind of where Game of Thrones got a lot of its ideas from, because there's a lot of deaths in it that are very, very similar. It is the Shakespeare play with most deaths.
Did you not see it's like very Tarantino as well? The way that everybody dies in Reservoir Dogs and Hateful Eight and all that.
Yeah. Like, there's one character that lives throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, that's like Mr. Pink in
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs. Or
Yeah.
he didn't live in Hateful Eight.
But he pretty much kills everyone and manipulates somebody to kill everyone. He's not. When I read it, I don't see him as a bad person.
Yeah.
Because it's just circumstance. It's
Mr. Pink?
No.
Alright.
When I read for Lucius, like, I
Yeah, it's
don't see
catchy
him as
airplane,
a
isn't
bad
it?
person. It's just kind of, he's Titus's son, and it's just kind of circumstance it brings in.
That's all really good, but there's not a Titus to draw this TV show, so shut the fuck up. Right, Dwight, I'm fed up talking about Don't Have a Walk Dead.
Yeah, I don't like it. I just want to mention that I really don't like Jorah.
What was that? Oh, the
I
weird
don't
kind of
like him
old guy.
But yeah, carry on. Next one.
Right, yeah, The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Right, let's read what I've got to say about this.
Okay. Everybody wants to hear that.
This... Fuck you.
Carry on.
This year's... Wait, I should actually get you to read these because then you read my reviews and you've got a better voice than
Do
me.
you want me to do it?
Aye, okay. You have it up? Do you have it up on your phone?
No. So, Daniel thinks this year's wait between seasons was the most brutal so far, but I don't feel it was earned. The infamous eeny meeny cliffhanger seemed a bit easy and cheap to me. Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And didn't make for authentic suspense during the summer break. However, since the show has returned for its 7th season, it has made for one of the best seasons of TV aired this year. There was one dud episode, but the series was bookended with... Is that bookended? Yeah. With fantastically suspenseful...
Jesus, I should have read that.
Shut up. It's the first time I'm reading that. Episodes solely due to the brilliant addiction of Jeffrey... Addition. You wrote addiction.
I'll correct, change that because I didn't know what.
Right, well, you wrote addiction, mate. So.
Fine, bro.
Due to the brilliant addition, if somebody could spell, of Jeffrey Dean Morgan to the show.
Yeah, the right addiction, you're right. Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah.
I am in love with Jeffrey Dean Morgan as a person.
Do you know what? I done know, like, I didn't particularly think before that show was getting stale. Some people said, oh, it's getting a bit stale and might get a bit same. And I was like, because I'm a fan, I was like, no, it's not. But see now that they've brought Negan in and he's so fresh and it does make Daryl and Rick and Carol and that seem a bit stale. And Morgan and Carol, you're kind of like, okay, they're in episodes because they have to be there, but we want to see him. Every episode with him in it this season has also been like in terms of ratings has had the most ratings. Mm-hmm. So like people clearly want to see him. I think there's a lot of people that have either watched Start Walking Dead and then fell away from it, or like not watched it at all, and then obviously buzz about him on the internet and stuff. People have come in for him, and I think that's why the episodes with him have higher ratings, because people who don't really care about The Walking Dead maybe just watching it for him, and they're just watching the specific episodes that they know he's in.
I'm interested to know their perspective on him then.
To cast, you mean?
No, like as a character.
Right,
because obviously there is that thing of, yeah, he's a horrible person, but...
Oh yeah, we're going to spoil all these, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I should say that, like, Game of Thrones was told it. But I almost said that Lena Headey blows her up, he jumps at the window, that's not a big spoiler for last season. And then also Walking Dead when
Ramsay dies.
Ramsay dies, and Glenn Abraham get killed.
Okay,
so spoilers.
You said that one.
Yeah, but I did say spoilers for everything, for all the ones we mentioned. So if we get to a show that you haven't seen, just like hit the skip button 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, a couple of maybe more for certain ones.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I was going with that.
Sorry. You're talking about new people's feelings on Dean Morgan.
Thank you. Because obviously there's the whole kind of thing of, like, if you've seen it from his point of view from the start, he wouldn't be a bad guy.
Right. People say that. I think he would still be a bad guy, but he wouldn't be the antagonist of the show. Like...
But if we've seen it from his point of view, Rick would be.
Yeah, but Rick isn't a good guy. Like, no. He's your protagonist, he's your kind of gateway to the world and stuff, and like we see things through his eyes. But Yeah, he's not a good guy. He's done bad things. They've all done bad things. But yeah, I know what you mean. I think he would still be, even if we followed him, he would still, you still see him as a bad guy.
I
But
mean, to be fair, even though we haven't followed him, I'm still rooting for him. I'm like, kill them all. But except for Maggie.
see, it's hard because you don't. Yeah, because you want to see Negan kill people, but you also don't want like
Don't
people to
want
die.
lose your
Yeah, it's like
characters,
it's like a conundrum.
There's certain ones that I'm totally okay with going though.
But things like people
That
are
haven't
upset with
went
Glenn
yet.
and stuff. But sometimes I feel like you just need to rip the band-aid off.
Oh my
Do you know what I mean? Like, just go for it and don't hold back.
I can't even think of it properly in my head.
The thing that disturbed me about that, like, it wasn't even the fact that Glenn was killed that people were like that offended at on the internet. It was like how he was killed, and it's like, who cares? Do you know what I mean? Like, the important thing should be like this character's been in it since the start. He saved Rick in the first episode. If it wasn't for him, Rick would be dead. Whatever. We wouldn't have a show. Maggie wouldn't have like be as prominent a character. Blah blah blah. So like, our attachment to him was the biggest. Should have been the biggest thing to take away from that episode. As so many people were like, "Oh, his eyeball popped out, it was too violent." Like, that was the takeaway. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's a show
It's
about
like, what
zombies.
do you expect? It's a zombie show.
Yeah. And like there wasn't that much kick up when guy from for Game of Thrones again. The guy for Game of Thrones, the guy for Narcos got his head popped in Game of Thrones. That was just as violent, and there wasn't as much.
I don't think so because you
I
didn't
don't-
see it.
Well,
Like our
I
friend
think
Danny,
it was-
like he spoke about it before we even like considered watching it,
yeah,
and said how like that guy was like one of his favourite characters, and you really liked him. And then all of a sudden, you just seen him get his head like literally ripped apart.
he was
See,
on like
watching
2
it-
episodes.
He was only in it like 3 episodes. I don't know how he managed to become anyone's favourite
Favourite.
character, and it wasn't that violent. You didn't see
I
much.
think it was more violent, but it was less prolonged in Glenn. It was the fact that Glenn's was dragged out for so long, and he teased him and stuff.
But
During
even
it.
even
That's
at the
what
time
made it worse.
when I watched it, there has been more gruesome deaths in Game of Thrones than that.
Probably, aye.
I wasn't.
Can't think any
I
right now.
kind of
But
expected like more, and it wasn't delivered.
yeah, I guess.
But we're backtracking.
Just to go back to Game of Thrones. I feel like the fact that we marathoned it, like just if people are
Yeah,
listening to us and they're like raging at us because we don't like Game of Thrones because it's on it, people love Game of Thrones on it. Keep in mind we did. I feel like we have a different perspective because we watched it all within like a couple of months.
Yeah.
People have been attached to these characters for years, so
Maybe if like that guy, it seemed like he
But
was in more because
at the same time, though, do you know think that speaks volumes? Because like we watched Sons of Anarchy all in one go. People watched that for years, and we still fell in love with the characters and cared. And
I worship.
I mean, people died. It was upsetting, and it had a conclusion that we all cared about. And some people don't like it. I love that ending. I thought it was a perfect ending to it.
I love that.
And like, I know Game of Thrones is not finished yet, but I don't feel
Well, this is its last season, is it not?
1.5. We're getting like 7 episodes and then 8 episodes or something. No, it's normally 10 a season. Season
Yeah.
7, 8. Did we just get 7? Whatever the next one is going to be like 7 episodes
Well,
in there.
that's not just trying to drag it out, is it?
Yeah, there's 13 more episodes to go.
It's like just let it die.
7 and 6, not 7 and 8, 7 and 6.
Maybe if I was more attached to it, like if it was like Gilmore Girls.
See, that's the thing as well. Like, I don't feel like. In a way, I have a bit of respect for it because, again, talk about Walking Dead getting still like Walking Dead could just go on forever. At least Game of Thrones
It
has an ending in sight.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it's ready to start getting up towards the end.
Maybe
I don't
again,
feel like it's going towards a
because
climax because we
we
just
watched it all.
watched it on one lot.
Well, to be fair, they just blew up everybody, so there's no point in
I know.
recasting
And now, like,
everything.
and I feel like now that Cersei's been villain, she's going to be the villain until the end. But we're talking about Walking Dead. I like how we were talking about Game of Thrones and said we were bored. It moved out of Walking Dead and then we're turning up talking about Game of Thrones. But I thought the mini cliffhanger was a bit cheap. It was a bit.
No, I liked it.
Nah,
I liked it because
was
it's
a bit-
very him. See, now that you're watching him,
Like,
it is very him.
It's straight out of the comic, right? But in the comic, we saw who got it. Do you know what I mean? Within a couple of pages, like, they made us a bit wholesome on it. It was just purely for the views that they did it. I don't know. It didn't sit perfectly with me.
I didn't like it, but I thought it worked.
You done talk about Walking Dead? Any more thoughts?
I think so.
I don't think this is my favourite season, but I think Negan might be my favourite.
Negan's my favourite character. I don't even need
My favourite villain.
to question
I love the Governor, but Negan's my favourite villain.
it. He's my favourite
Is
character.
he?
Yeah.
Better than Daryl? Better than Rick? Better than...
Better than aye. You say that. I'm not.
I
I'm
really
not
like
a
Rick.
Rick fan.
Better than... Who else do you like? Daryl and... You like Maggie and you like Carol, but I don't know if I would say
Carol's
they're your
alright.
favourites.
No. And I like Michonne.
Aye, Michonne's cool. I like her too. I think she's my favourite female character. I think.
Yeah. I think I'd have to say that. Sasha, no, wrong one. Rosita's annoying, especially now. She's annoying me. And
She's going to be dead soon.
I really quite liked how the guy from One Tree Hill got his guts literally handed to him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was cool.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
You do have guts. Yeah, that was good. Okay, right, well, that's what I did. Westworld. Big spoilers. If you haven't seen that, go and watch it, because I genuinely think it was one of the best things of 2016.
I loved it. I did. I liked it a lot better than I thought it would.
We're going to talk about Westworld and Stranger Things, and those two are my favourite.
Stranger Things still beats Westworld for me.
It's close. Right, I'll say what I've got to say about Westworld. Take a side.
Don't want me to read it again then, no.
You fucked up bastard. We'll take turns, right? I'll read this and then you can read Stranger Things.
That's fine, because I've finished Stranger Things. They say you give me the longer one.
Take a classic sci-fi western and base a TV show around the concept with one of the Nolan brothers at the helm. This show has proved that not only is Jonathan Nolan clearly a talented writer, which he's proven before on Interstellar and The Prestige, but he's also a talented director independently. He, along with Lisa Joy, created and helmed this show, and in my opinion, it is one of the best examples of how to do a TV show in recent years. This, along with Stranger Things, was the best TV series of 2016, if you ask me. Westworld was begin, middle, end. Like that's, I love when TV shows do that. Like, yeah, and at the start I didn't love it. It was okay, and it took maybe episode 3 or 4 before I was properly.
I don't usually like shows that make you do that, though.
Westworld ramped for me. Like, started off okay, kind of episode 3 and 4 when Jim Simpson that came out, I liked, and then 5 and 6 it slowed right down, and then 7, like spoilers, when you found out that Bernard was a robot, and then the whole Arnold thing, and then the last episode, like, I feel like those last 7, 8, 9, 10, so the last 4 episodes just
I like
went
how we
right up.
literally, though, like, when we were watching it, we went through and said every single character was Arnold. We're like, that must be him, that's not him, that must be it, no, that's not him.
But that's kind of what it's designed to make you do.
Yeah, I like it.
And
I like how he wasn't just one of the characters, he was 2. Because he was Bernard, but then he was also...
What?
No, never mind, it's fine. I'm not making very much sense.
Do you like the fact that it ended with a lot of questions still hanging though? Do you?
Yeah,
because
because
people
you know
have
for a fact that
complaints.
it's set up for another season.
But there's a part of me that would maybe prefer if it was like American Horror Story, like Westworld season 2. They introduced like samurais and that, like Eastworld season 3. Don't know, like war world. So they could do like a war season. Northworld, aye, like Iceland. I don't know, but
Southworld could be Santa.
Sure.
Merry Christmas.
Is she not? She's North Pole.
Southworld, I don't know.
You don't even know your Christmas lore. What's wrong with you? Real Santa talk, man. Like, you're the one supposed to be a fan of Christmas. I'm so disappointed.
Carry on.
Aye, so, but at the same time, like, all the robots kind of waking up and coming through the bushes at the end, and then they shot Ed Harris in the arm and stuff, so you know they can hurt humans, and the fact that there's a theory.
It was the way that he just looked so impressed.
I know, he was just like wow.
Whoa!
What? And that's what, like, I mean, he's clearly not really caring about humans anymore. He's more like into what they can do, and the fact that he did that, he was kind of excited. He was like, oh, that's a whole new, like, this adds a whole new layer to things.
I think that kind of to him was opening, like reaching the centre of the maze, going to the next level.
Did you buy the transition for Jimmy Simpson to Ed Harris? Did you believe?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Did you think that was well done?
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Fantastic though. I mean, he goes from being.
But he's old.
I know, but he goes from being a nice guy to being just a total psychopath.
You see him going into a cycle.
When he sees like
already
Dolores back at the place where, what's his name? James Marsden's character, Teddy. Yeah.
But no, you see him going into a cycle even before that, like when he like starts killing people and he's pure.
It was awesome when he killed like all the people and cuts their arms off.
And like
then,
Ben Barnes was like, whoa.
And it ties back into the thing.
It is Ben Barnes' fault.
Well, is it though? Because it ties back into the thing. But remember, like when he had Ben Barnes tied up, Logan, was that his character's name?
Yeah.
He said to him, because he said to him at the start, this place isn't about finding someone new, it's about finding who you really are. No, he said at the start, this is going to be the new you. And then later on when he's got tied up, it says, no, you were wrong, this isn't about finding the new me, it's about finding out who I really was all along. Yeah. So I suppose who he really was all along was the Taz character, and he was putting on the whole nice act. But
I don't even think it was an act, I think it was a thing, I think it was
him. Yeah, but I mean a subconscious act.
Like,
an act he didn't know he was putting on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have one of those.
Yeah, it's shocking. I thought I thought Tan Newton was a standout. I thought she was brilliant in it.
Loved her
She
in
stole it.
this.
Because at the start she was just kind of there, and it was a weird English kind of prostitute. And then by the end she was like commanding all the other robots, and yeah, she was really cool in it.
But I also kind of like the twist of she was still being controlled by someone.
Mm. I know. Well, again,
And
that's
then
another thing that left unanswered, wasn't it?
Was she though?
I know.
Because then when she steps off the train, she's meant to stay on the train and escape. But then when she comes off the train, everything shuts down.
And then you never. Yeah, again, that's another thing that wasn't answered. That was the last you seen her.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah. And she stopped.
Yeah.
Did she stop because she was surprised?
Or did she stop
because she stopped because all the rest of them stopped?
No, I think she was still like alert.
Like,
I think it was
alert.
because she was surprised. Yeah.
Oh, good. I pure want her to be like real. I'm like, go, Daddy, run.
And I thought Dolores was a really good character. I like how there was different sides to her. She's started off as kind of timid farm girl, and then she had all these different layers. And she was one. I liked how she was one of the first robots she had like on the mechanical like workings, and you saw Arnold. Yeah, it was Arnold that made her one. You saw him making her, and then you saw her killing Arnold later.
You seen Logan like cutting her open and then like showing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
because that's where she bled to death, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was a theory online which I thought was pretty cool. Remember when you see in episode 7, right, when you find out that Bernie's a robot? Bernie? Yeah, that's his name now. When you find out big Bernie boy's a robot, right?
Oh my.
And he kills the chick that you sleep with, the older one that's the director person, right? You see that. What's Hopkins' name in it again?
Oh, I can't
Robert.
remember. I don't know.
Robert
I don't think I've paid that much time.
Kardashian. What's his name?
Any
No. Right, anyway, him. Hopkins' character, right? You see that he's making another robot.
Yeah.
And you were like, he's making another her, which
Yeah.
I thought is like, I didn't think until you said it. I was when you said it, I was like, I must be what it is. But you never find out who he's making. So the theory online is that he was making a robot of himself, and the person you see getting shot at the end, giving the speech, is the robot him, and he's going into hiding. So that he creates a robot so he would get shot, so everybody think was dead, fake his death and prove a point.
Yeah.
But it's not been like, it's not proven. But you never see who the robot is, so do you know what I mean? It would make sense that it was him, and you think he's dead, and then he comes back later on, and
I'm so annoyed I didn't think of it.
yeah.
See,
He was good as well, but he was just at the
I
office.
thought
But
that they
I
were
love
making
Arthur.
another her so that they could cover up that, that she was dead.
Yeah,
But then they just showed that she was dead, so obviously we knew it wasn't going to be another her. Whatever her name was.
But Narva was good. I feel like the whole cast all round, like your James Marsden was good, and the Hemsworth brother as well. So I never get answered. He just got rugby tackled in the desert one night,
By
and
some
then,
Indians?
and then never reappeared.
Never
Like
came
that was
back.
nothing. It was just left. I don't know. There's something that I'm like, fair enough. You left that open, and there's some things I'm like, I wish they'd. That was episode 4 or 5 that happened. They should have really done something else with him, or if they were going to do it later on. Because I think a lot of people just forgot about that because the whole Tan Newt thing and the whole Dolores thing and all the rest of it. And in fact, with 2 Doloreses, they never really. Well, I was actually watching an IGN video. They kind of put our timeline in chronological order, and it kind of made more sense. That,
Yeah, because
the 2 Doloreses, and she's seeing herself
seeing
for
herself,
another layer of her, another dimension
Yeah.
locked away in her head, and yeah. But
I got that.
yeah, no, Westworld was pretty great.
I like that.
Right, do we talk about Stranger Things?
Always,
Do you want to read
every day for the rest of my life.
the mini review?
Mini review. Okay, Daniel thinks Stranger Things was actually a bit of a sleeper hit this year, and I was actually fairly late to the boat on this one. When the show was advertised, it looked like it wasn't my thing at all. It looked like it was going to rely on 80s nostalgia and be carried by bad child actors. Jesus. Then I had most of my friends recommend it to me, and eventually I succumbed to the peer pressure, and I have never been more glad to have done so. This show is fantastic. It takes what has been done before and builds on it in a unique way, creating something familiar yet original. The performances that the children in the show give are very good and went way beyond my original expectations. A strong contender for the best show of 2016. Not a strong contender, it is the best show of 2016.
I don't know, I can't decide that Westworld. I can't decide what I prefer. I prefer Stranger Things at the time, and then when I watched Westworld I was like, this is better, but now that I've seen both and I've had time to think about it, they're equal to me.
No.
They're neck and neck.
No, not
Yeah.
even close. Not even close. Like, Sons of Anarchy, I could probably say is maybe my favourite TV show.
Ever?
Well, like,
I mean, no, I'm fair enough. I'm not like taking you down. Like,
Apart from
that's,
like my girly TV shows.
yeah, you get more girls in your
Yeah.
One Tree Hill and that.
Yeah. But like, in terms of actual good TV,
Right.
I think Sons of Anarchy
What's
would
your
be my favourite TV show. But at that, Stranger Things It's pretty close.
The thing about Stranger Things, there's only 8 episodes in one season. I feel like when you've seen a bit more, you'll be able to compare them a bit better.
I have never been more excited for like a next season of anything.
Do you... Just, sorry, I'm talking Stranger Things in a minute, but Sons of Anarchy is your favourite. Do you think that's the best TV show ever? Because my favourite is The Walking Dead, but I think Breaking Bad, from a writing, directing, acting perspective, is a better show. Do you know what I mean? Like, the best show ever, I'd say, is Breaking Bad, but my favourite, because I'm more attached to characters, whatever, and I've been following it for longer, is The Walking Dead.
I think I need to stick with
Sons.
Sons.
As very clever.
Breaking Bad is
Kurt
genius.
Sutter is a genius.
Breaking Bad is genius, but
Fizz Gilligan's a genius too, yeah.
But Sons of Anarchy is Hamlet.
And not only is it Hamlet, it's also got its own whole original spin.
Yeah.
And then what I love about Sons is all the foreshadowing and all the like the backstabbing, and that was what surprised me the most, because I thought people in my work were telling me to watch it, and it's just a biker gang, and I was like, "It's going to be a manly man show," but there's so much double, triple, quadruple crossing, and
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Every
sons
time I
killing
think
each
about
other,
it, like,
and
I just get so excited.
yeah, they're all dirty by the end, near enough. Do you know what I mean? They've all
Yeah.
done something that you're like, that's what I like about that as well. Jax was a protagonist, but wasn't a good guy. There was some things he'd done. You were like, what are you doing? But you still followed him. He still was like, yeah. Anyway, Stranger Things. Like I said in that, I remember when Stranger Things came out, I was like, that was the name of it, and like the trailers that I saw were a bit strange.
We were really hungover the first time that
Remember?
we
It
watched
doesn't
it.
shock me.
Yeah, because we were
I know it
lying
was
in
summertime,
bed, and
but-
you had said that Andy had told us to watch it the night before.
Yeah, because they all recommended.
And I was like, right, we were looking for something to watch, and I was like, right, okay, we'll stick that on. We put it on. You didn't last past the
That's
opening
right, I fell
intro.
asleep, that's right.
You fell asleep, and I watched 2 episodes by myself,
So you
terrified,
did.
because I am terrible when it comes to like
Horror.
horror.
And that's
And
not,
I was
that's kids horror.
And you like woke up and seen me hiding behind my covers, and you're like, "What's up?"
And
I
11
just
and she
said,
came in
"This
it. She was in the
is
cafe, wasn't she?
So good.
Yeah.
So we had to put it back and watch it all over again, but I didn't.
You didn't mind so
I
much.
didn't mind because it was that good.
That's what I like about it as well, though. Clearly, it's like a love letter to your Goonies and your
Oh, yeah.
Stand By Me's
Oh,
and
yeah,
your
yeah.
E.T. and...
But I'm like
But-
a massive Goonie fan.
But it's also... Like, I don't mind rehashing things if it's building on it. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people kind of think the stigma, like, oh, you shouldn't do remakes. Remakes are crap.
Yeah.
And you're right, for the most part they are crap. But if you go to do a remake, this isn't a remake event, but
No.
the way to do it is to take it and build on it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
take what was done before and then add to it. And I feel
Yeah.
like this does
This
that.
does that in a big way.
And the kids are
It's
brilliant.
like if
The writing's
Stephen
brilliant.
King
Yeah, it's very
directed
Stephen King.
The Goonies,
Yeah.
but then also took inspiration from Alien.
Yeah, I was going to say there's touch of Alien in it as well.
It's
Aye.
like
You take your Ridley
Yeah.
Scotts and your... There's even a bit of George Lucas in it, because I'm sure they play with Star Wars toys and stuff. Like, there's Star Wars references and...
is it not a bit early for Star Wars?
What?
Is it not set a bit early for Star Wars?
No, it's set in the 80s.
Oh, right.
Star Wars late 70s.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Star Wars original trilogy. Yeah, like, New Hope was like 77, I think.
Oh, right, okay. I thought it was a wee bit late.
No, it was like 77, 79,
I thought
and
it
then
was
81,
80s.
I think Jedi was. I think Jedi was the early 80s.
You're good with your dicks, so.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I definitely had like Star Wars toys in his room and stuff. So like, there was loads of like wee
And the
nods.
Jaws posters and stuff.
Yeah, and the Thing. It clearly took for the Thing a lot as well. So I mean, I love all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Your Stephen King, your Philip K. Dick kind of
Yeah.
Blade Runner and all that, like in your Star Wars. Like I love all that shit. So, aye, it's brilliant.
I thought,
And it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. No, even though I'm saying how good the nostalgia and all that is, it doesn't just rely on that. I don't think.
no.
Like even if you don't like Star Wars, the Goonies, all that stuff, I feel like you still can enjoy this. It's
Yeah,
not
you
just
can.
that,
Yeah.
but that helps if you're a fan of that shit. What were you going to say? Sorry, I cut you off.
No, nothing. I was just going to say about the casting. Like, I thought,
That guy that's in Black Mass was really good at it, and that's... He's always been in films like Black Mass, and he's all been okay, but in this he was given a kind of lead role, and I thought he'd done really good. And Winona Ryder was really good, I thought.
Oh, I am a
I mean,
massive Winona Ryder
she
fan.
nowadays is kind of known as this burnt
Mental,
out, yeah, older, but play to your strengths, do you know what I mean? Like, she clearly took that and added it to her performance, and it totally worked. And the kids are great. That boy that plays Dustin, especially, he's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. Gaten
Him and is it Millie
Millie
Bobby Brown that plays 11? The two of them are the standout
Millie
kids
Bobby
for me.
Brown is...
The two of them are phenomenal.
She just steals your heart, I think.
Aye, very good. For their age as well.
The thing that really struck me with her is I watched like a couple of interviews and stuff after I finished
In fact, she's
watching
English as well.
Yeah,
She keeps that
that's what I
accent
was
the
about
whole
to say.
show.
Like the fact that she has an English accent, she's so young.
I've seen adults that can't keep up an accent for the length of a film. Do you know, this is 8 hours of TV, and she keeps it up. So, fair play.
She is a very, very talented little girl.
Granted, she doesn't have that many lines, but that's the thing about performance. Like,
something. Though.
Yeah, she gives a lot through her eyes and just through her facial expressions and through her movement and her body language. Yeah, especially for age. The fact that she clearly understands all that at such a young age is impressive.
Very impressive. Like,
I mean, a lot of it could be the writing and directing, but
people that don't know how to use their faces, and she's.
But you get
like 14.
You get stuff that's good brilliant writing and brilliant directing. If you've got a crap actor delivering it, then all that stuff's irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? You need that final kind of conduit to give it to the audience. So.
But at the same time, you can have a fantastic actor that can only do so much with the material.
Yeah, of course, aye, definitely, aye. Just look at Fantastic Beasts. We'll get to that.
Shut up.
No, okay, we'll talk about that later. Right, I've got some more TV shows, but I haven't wrote reviews. We'll just go through these. Designated Survivor was.
I really like it.
A Netflix show that premiered this year. It's my bias against long TV shows though, because like it premiered and I quite liked it. I was told to watch it with a couple of people, and I saw IGN not put up about it, and I was like, oh, give it a go, and quite into it. I like Kiefer Sutherland, and I like some. Well, I don't know. I know they're Maggie Q. I know her. Like some of the actors that you know. But it starts to episodes 4, 5, 6. They kind of like after episode 3, say it started to drag a bit, and I did notice it, but I didn't like say anything because I thought maybe it's just like. Walking Dead drag some episodes, do you know what I mean? Like, fair enough. And then I read it's going to be a 22 episode season, and that's when I went, oh, I see, it's clearly filler. Like, we're going to get a lot more. Like, when you know there's only 12, 15, 16 episodes, then you'll go, you might get 2 or 3 episodes of filler, and then, like Walking Dead this season, bookended by good episodes. When you know it's 22 episode season, you could have 3 good episodes.
And all the rest are
15 filler episodes, and then 5 at the end that are good. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't know how, so. That's what puts me off personally. I don't know.
That's something though, like
it's alright. It's picking up again. We started watching it again recently, a couple of episodes, and it was I was a wee bit more into it than I was before. I like it. I think that's because I took a break for it and came back to it.
But I quite like politics.
Yeah, I suppose. Right enough, we watched one episode of House. 3 episodes of House Cars, didn't we?
No,
2.5.
I don't even think we made it that far.
We watched at least 1.5.
Episode and a half, yeah.
But that's one I do like to go back to.
We were also extremely tired the times that we watched this.
Yeah.
But that's something like just to digress a wee bit, like.
What charge? It's 69. Sorry to digress. Like I'm doing.
I literally tried to say this 3 times. When it came to Breaking Bad.
We've gone for 40 minutes.
Oh, amazing.
I apologise for this shite we're talking. We're only 5 shows in. Give it 2 episodes.
Shut up! Right, oh my god! Sorry.
As a podcast, supposed to talk. Right, go.
Yeah, and it's meant to be 2 people.
Go. See what you got to say. To digress.
I've made it like at least 5 words after that, I know. Breaking Bad. The filler episode for that was the Fly episode.
I love it. I know that's a polarising episode, but I love it.
And like that's what I'm saying. Like that doesn't feel like a filler episode. It's just a fantastic episode. It's an episode that they didn't have the budget to get to the location that they were supposed to be on.
So they just winged it.
So they went with a Jesus Christ. So they went with a location.
Let's be a fly in the wall for that mean.
Oh, Connie, shut up, man. I don't like this.
Sorry.
They went with a location that they were already working on and came up with this. You make it seem so much more insignificant because that was all I had to say.
I'm sorry.
It so long.
Let's move on.
I don't remember what show we were talking about.
Disney Survival. American Crime Story was when it came out. I think you were more excited than me because you're a bigger fan of American Horror Story. It was the same producers, same writers, some of the same cast.
Some of the same writers.
Some of the same writers, some of the same cast, the same channel, the same whatever. But by the end of it, I think I preferred it more than you. By the end of it, you were okay with it. I feel like when we came away from it, you thought it was alright, but I thought it was one of the best TV shows of this year. Yeah, I'd
I
put it
love
like
Sarah
third place
Paulson.
to your Stranger Things and your Westworld.
Really?
I've not counting like your Walking Dead because that's been on for ages. I mean like TV shows that have only had one season this year. Then yeah,
Okay.
I really liked it. Actually, I don't know. I saw now I really like, but we'll get to that. Sorry.
No, I loved American Crime Story because I'm such a fan of the OJ story as well. Like, I knew more about the OJ story than you did originally.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. See Sarah Paulson. I didn't. You raved and ranted about her for American Horror Story.
Love her.
I'd never seen her in anything.
Love her.
So this did kind of impress me. This. I thought
She's an actress that doesn't get enough recognition, I don't think.
John Travolta was good at it. I feel like in the last couple of years he's kind of done nothing. He kind of burnt out a bit and he's a bit old and rubbish now. But he was surprisingly good at it. I thought Ross gave a good performance as David Schwimmer, which is his real name. Gave a good performance as Robert Kardashian. Some people didn't like him and said he just played Ross, but I thought
don't get me wrong, I thought he was very good as
I liked him.
Robert Kardashian, but he did do the David Schwimmer face quite a lot. He did.
That's what he looks like.
No, but it's that.
I don't mean that kind of. Aye.
Yeah.
Those eyebrows and
And the kind of hanging jaw that he does, where it's like, do you have a thought going through your head, or is it just a clapping monkey?
But I've liked Cuba Gooding for years, and I thought
I like Cuba Gooding Jr.
I thought he was.
I thought
good.
he played a very convincing OJ. I thought he was a wee bit too likeable.
No, I don't. I thought he was a bit. He was likeable, but OJ was likeable on the camera.
Likeable,
but then you could tell also it was clearly something messed up in his head. He was really unhinged.
He played that
He
really
looked
well.
nothing like OJ, but
He's too small.
the first couple of episodes that mattered. Like that was in my back of my head, and then after that, I didn't
you
care.
totally forgot, yeah.
Like it just.
But like
sold
everybody else looked so much like the real people.
Aye, that
So
her that
much.
played Kris.
Yeah,
Kardashian
Kris Jenner,
was like her and him. Dave Schwimmer was like Robert,
And then
and Travolta wasn't really like Bob.
no, not really.
Bob thingy.
No, not really. But thingy.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses that was on Travolta's side. What was his name?
Oh my god, I can't.
I can't remember the real guy's name or the actor's name. I know the actor's name as well.
I cannot believe it. I can't.
He was spot on, and Sterling K. Brown, who was Sarah Paulson's
Yeah.
partner, he was exactly like the real guy as well. It was scary.
That guy is in This Is Us.
That's funny. That's the next TV show. No,
Really?
well, I've got American Horror Story and I've got that. This is Us.
Well, he is in This Is Us. Hold on. Sterling K. Brown, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Yeah.
What was Sterling K. Brown's name in it again? What was
Oh my god, he has my name.
Courtney
B.
Vance.
And he played Johnny Cochran.
So Johnny Cochran, that was it. And what was Sterling K. Brown's character's name?
Lady Gaga is Versace, you know? Christopher Darden.
So it was Darden. So it was Chris Darden.
And Kenneth Troy was in it too.
Yeah, he was a judge.
He was a judge, he was right. He looked a lot like the judge.
Aye.
He looked a lot like the judge.
Aye, he did actually when he saw the real footage, aye. He's a good actor. Good character actor.
And Connie Britton.
Who's that again?
She-
The older red-haired lassie?
Yeah, she tried to make the book out of it. She tried to make money off the book.
Right.
Selma Blair, that's her who played
Yeah.
Chris.
Her that's in Hellboy.
She's been compared a lot to Kris Jenner though. Like Kris Jenner's had to,
Even before the show.
yeah, she had to pose for selfies with her and photos with her because it's like her doppelganger.
Right.
And Connie Britton played Faye Resnick.
Show me.
She
Yeah, aye, she's in Nashville for sure.
an American Horror Story. She played a very convincing Faye, I think.
No idea what the real person was. Maybe you don't know about OG than me. Aye, but American Horror was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, I liked it.
Making Horror Story. I saw a wee bit more of it this season than I had
You've not seen it
previously. I seen some in the first season when you were watching it. The one with the school and that, and Evan Peters was seeing all the ghost people and shit.
Yeah.
I saw some of that, and the Demon Baby, and then we had
Yeah.
the room was like strobe lights. I remember that.
Yeah. Okay. That's like one single episode.
Yeah, I think that's the only part I've seen. Other than that, yeah, you're right. I've not really seen any of it.
I think you would do like Asylum.
But this season, because I was doing uni work and you were at my house a lot, you were watching it. A lot of it, I was watching without sound because you had the headphones on and I was just kind of glancing at it. But I don't know, it seemed a bit strange to me. I mean, it seems strange to me anyway. And you need to remember, I'm watching it glancing at it and not listen to it, so it makes no sense.
Yeah, so you've just seen some hillbillies and some people with pig heads
Yeah,
on
and people
and-
getting their legs eaten and stuff. What did you think? I want to know your opinion.
I liked it. I did. There's quite a lot of criticism going about it just now because quite a lot of people didn't like it. But I feel
Actually,
that's quite ignorant. They didn't like it for the reasons of Evan Peters wasn't in it straight away.
he was in it very briefly, wasn't he? Wasn't it much?
He was in it a fair amount.
Right.
He wasn't in it as like a pure massive character, but he was in it a fair amount. Sarah Paulson, as per damn usual, she was absolute perfection. Gaga wasn't in it as much as I thought she would be.
You looking about your making our say pop figures? You're talking.
Yeah.
She wasn't
My
in it as
hypothetics,
much, was she? She was. But she was probably in tour of recording albums. Yeah, she had an album. She had Joanne.
Yeah, she had that album, but she wasn't in it as much as I expected it to be, which the show carried itself, do you know what I mean? The show was still very good, but me personally, I find it a wee bit disappointing that they didn't use a wee bit more, but obviously schedules and things like that, that's fine. But when people started complaining that it didn't have the intro, and it didn't have other stuff...
And the twist that it was like a recreation, wasn't it? That we
Yeah,
were seeing when we were
so
seeing
it was like a documentary.
and we saw
then
the
it
actors
was, like,
playing the same roles.
Yeah. And at first I was a wee bit confused by that, because I was like, right, okay, because of how in detail the recreation was.
That's what about I understood the whole, like, is it real, is it not? I don't know, just tell
No, the rest of it is all...
No, I know, but the fact that actors play the same parts in every season and you don't know...
No, they don't.
Not the same cast in every season or near the same cast in every season. And, like, you don't know if, like, say, Zach Quinton's going to turn up in this one or even Peter's going to turn up in that one or Lady Gaga comes into it. I don't know, it's a bit gimmicky to me.
I like that.
It's a bit cheap to me.
It's one of the only shows to do it. I like it because you get comfortable with people. Do you know what I mean? And when I first watched it, I got a bit confused because, again, like, it had been on for a while, so I think I had the first 3 seasons to watch. And then by the time I caught up with that, I think the 4th season was coming on. Oh.
Has it got less scary? Because that's what I heard people say. It's got less scary. Each season has been less scary than the last.
This season was quite scary.
That's what I heard. And
I feel.
But then you're saying that people didn't like. There was a review. I was reading a review. It was like a Facebook headline that I saw. Somebody said that this season was a return to form, like picked back up after
Loved it. Yeah.
Coven Hotel.
But see, that's
and then
like no offense to anyone, but that's smart people saying that. People didn't like this season because it didn't have the usual stuff that the previous seasons had in it, like the intro and Evan Peters wasn't in it enough for people. But that's quite ignorant, I think, because it didn't need it.
And then do you not think that's the writers being savvy saying, right, people like the first 2 seasons, people don't like 3 and 4 as much, maybe we should change it up, maybe we should do something different, like how Walking Dead brought in Negan, like do something to refresh the show a bit and like do something to grab people's attention, and even if they don't like it, any press is good press. Do you know what I mean? So people, even though they're tweeting that hate, they're still tweeting about it.
I've got a lot of faith in Ryan Murphy. I like him a lot.
He's the creator.
Yeah. He's a genius. He chooses his cast so well. And his twists are always undeniable. Like, and this season was no different for me. Like, I loved the fact that the cast got to play 2 different characters almost, because to be fair, oh god, what's her name? Why can't I remember her name?
We have to fly through the SCs, but I still got a ton of shows to go through. We're 50 minutes in.
Lily Rabe. Didn't even need to look at it. Yes.
Well done.
Lily Rabe. She played the same character, and so did the man who was playing her husband, whose name I don't know. They played the same character throughout. But the fact that they had Kathy Bates as the butcher, they had Sarah Paulson as Lily Rabe's character, and they had Cuban Jr. as her husband, and they got to come back into it as totally different characters. Like Sarah Paulson was English and she was a bit of a diva, and Angela Bassett got to come into it and she had turned into an alcoholic, so she kind of turned into the character she was already playing. The fact that they got to play actors and got to take the mick out themselves a wee bit, from an actor's point of view, I quite liked that. I thought that was quite good. I enjoyed this season.
Where do you rank it with the other seasons? Better than I'll ask you. Better than Coven's your least favourite, isn't it?
No.
What's your
Freak
least
Show's my least favourite.
Right, that's right. So I forgot that even
I've not
existed.
even finished Freak Show.
Better than Freak Show?
Oh yeah.
What's your second least favourite?
Probably Coven.
Burton Coven
I think so, yeah.
in hotel.
It's a kind of close toss-up between hotel and murder house.
So in there, below
Yeah,
Coven,
probably.
hotel and
I
murder
think
house.
maybe between murder house and Coven somewhere.
Right.
I don't know what one's higher, what
Right.
one's lower, but definitely in between there. And then Asylum.
But you were happy with
That's
it. You
all
weren't
it is.
disappointed by it.
Yeah, and the fact that Sarah Paulson came back as her character from Asylum,
Aye, but
that
I know it.
was awesome. I loved that.
We're back. We got interrupted. You won't know because I'll do a swift cut, but this is 2 nights later for the start of the episode. And turned out this list of TV shows that we watched this year was so big we had to split it into 2 nights. But
Apparently so.
we were talking about This Is Us before we got cut off, which I've not seen, but you have, so...
Yeah, so This Is Us. It's really sweet. It's a cute wee show. I really like it. It's got Milo Ventimiglia from Gilmore Girls in it, and Mandy Moore. And it's like the first episode is really cleverly done. And I liked it a lot because you see Milo and Mandy Moore, and they are married, and it's his birthday, and at the beginning of the episode, it shows you that like a certain amount of people all have the same birthday as you, and so it's his birthday, and she's massively pregnant, and it's really sweet, and then her water breaks.
Get to what? No.
What?
Get to water!
Stop!
Sorry.
So
Right,
you then see them in the hospital, and she's pregnant with triplets.
uh-huh.
And it's the doctor talking to them, and you just assume that it's today, like it's now time. And basically what happens is she gives birth to all the kids, but obviously because it's triplets there is a very high risk. They don't embellish on it too much, but there's just a very high risk that you might lose more than one baby, or she might die, different things like that. So it turns out she has 2 and 1 dies, and it's stillborn, and then...
Oh, she's getting on one.
You are awful.
It's like backing up your heart.
So
your hard drive.
basically, like, she's got 2 babies and there's 1, but like they're known as the big 3, like the 3 kids. Like it was going to be the big 3, and they had the names all picked out. The nursery, there was 3 cots, there was all this stuff, and then it clicks to Chrissy Met's story, and it's her birthday. And she's this really big girl. Like she's stunning, but she's really, really big. And in the show, she's struggling a lot with her weight. And it's her birthday. And then you see like a sequence of her. And then it clicks to Justin Hartley, who is in that other show that I watched briefly, that Mistresses.
Oh, right.
He's in that too. And he's good. I like him a lot. He's quite funny. And so it clicks to him, and it's his birthday, and he's got a different storyline. He's like a Hollywood actor who's in like one of those washed out sitcoms that he doesn't actually want to be in.
Right.
And then it clicks to Sterling K. Brown.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah, and it's his birthday as well. So when I started watching it, I thought, right, okay, it's going to follow quite a lot of different people showing their lives, blah, 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 because they're in no way connected. And then it basically establishes that Sterling K. Brown was left at a fire station. He's adopted, and he was left at a fire station when he was first born, and he goes on a hunt for his dad, who is Ron Cephas Jones from Luke Cage. He's Bobby in Luke Cage.
Oh, yeah.
Like
The little guy that was in the
Pops-
shop.
Pops
Yeah.
Ranger. He's him in Luke Cage. And that's his dad. So he's got like a private investigator looking for his dad, and he's found his dad, and you establish that he was found outside of a fire station. So then it clicks back to the hospital when Milo was looking at his 2 kids, and this guy walks up to him and he's like, oh, what one's yours? And he's like, oh, those 2. He's like, oh, twins. He went, that's a lot. He's like, yeah. He went, what one's yours? And he went, funny thing actually, he said, it's that one, but he's not mine. I found him outside my fire station. And so the 2 that were born as Sterling K. Brown are
The grown-up kids.
the grown-up kids, and it's Milo and Mandy that are their mum and dad, and it's like they're set in like the 70s.
Alright.
Their story is in the 70s, and them growing up is now. So it was really, really clever, and it didn't get established until like the end of that episode, and I really liked it. But it's really sweet. I'm following it, and it's quite easy watching. It's nice. Bobby is dying of cancer, but he was like basically homeless because when he had Sterling K. Brown as a baby, he was like a junkie and stuff. But it's nice, it's funny, it's light. You see them going through kind of everyday sort of issues. She's obviously struggling with weight, and she meets this guy who's trying to do all this nice stuff for her, but because her and her brother are twins, they've got this really close connection, and it's really, really nice. I quite like it. I think it's cute.
See, I thought for the chairs and that, I thought it was a lot of pish, but and because like people forget Gilmore Girls and stuff like that, but
That is no reflection of anything.
but I was looking like when I was thinking of these TV shows, I was looking at and I just got an article, and it was saying like top 10 TV shows of 2016.
Yeah, like
And the top 2 were like Stranger Things and Westworld, and then I think that was 3. No, the one that we were going to watch that the night of, I think was 3, and then it was this.
I mean, it's
This
got
is
an
this.
8.9 on IMDb.
Right.
It's really, really well received. It's just,
Yeah.
it's
just not my thing, I
nice.
think.
Do you know what I mean? I don't see why not. Like, I don't think you would have any
I
issue
like
with
The
it.
Walking Dead when the world's ended and everybody's dying. That's my thing.
No, it is. It's
I don't like happy cheery shit.
it's not by any means really.
And I don't like heartstring tugging for
cheery,
the sake
but
of it shit either.
It's nice. I like it a lot. I think it's, and I can see why it's being so well received. It's not what I expected it to be either.
No.
But I like it. It's nice.
Do you want to talk about Gilmore Girls? Because of course you do. It is, like, I don't like Gilmore Girls, but it is important culturally, I think, and the fact that it came back this year is a big deal, so
Oh yeah.
probably should talk about it. So what did you think? There was 4 episodes, is that right?
Yeah.
And they were
first.
extra long?
Yeah.
What did you think? Was it everything you wanted it to be?
Yes,
Is there,
and no.
was there stuff kind of left to be desired at the end of it?
Not necessarily. Like, I think from my
Is
point
it,
of
is, it,
view...
is it enough closure after all these years of following it and watching it?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. So if they never did this again, this reunion, I know they said they're not, but if it made a shitload of noise, they might.
No, I think, like, she's not said they're not. She
Oh, is
hasn't
she not?
cancelled it out.
So if they never did, would you be okay with that? Like this being the last chapter?
I want to be able to say yeah, but I just don't think
You can let it go.
I could let it go. I don't think I could let it die. Purely because, right, of the last line of the last episode. Like,
Well,
okay, I'm not
I know-
supposed
I
to
know-
know this yet because me and my sister were meant to watch it together, but...
Oh, we already said at the start, I'm sure the last one, but
Yeah,
spoilers for
spoilers,
everything. What was
Wait.
it again? I know you told me, but what happened?
Mum, I'm pregnant. And the whole basis of the show is because...
And you don't know who...
No,
No.
you don't know who it is. You don't know.
Right.
But I think that it's Logan, which makes me extremely happy inside. But see, I seen this thing, and I actually thought of this before I seen it, right? So I was quite proud of myself that it was also a thing
Uh-huh.
after I thought of it. Richard, namely, who are Lorelai's mum and dad, who are Rory's grandparents,
The rich
right?
ones, right.
Yeah. They were together and they got married because Emily was the other woman for
Right.
Richard. Like, when
Right.
Richard was in
I
college,
had an affair with her.
he was supposed to be getting engaged and married to somebody else, and he left that someone else to then marry Emily.
Sounds like a big family of sluts, if you ask me.
Yeah, right.
Of rich sluts. So it
No,
sounds like.
Rory and Lorelai aren't rich, but
The mum and dad are rich.
yeah,
by
but
default,
she's
their
not-
kids are rich.
No, she's not getting anything to do with it. That's the point.
Alright.
That is the point. She leaves when she's 16 and goes and moves to Stars Hollow, and lives
My mum and dad
because
are rich.
you are so one-dimensional. But no, so that happened, right? Emily then got Richard, and they are like the most beloved couple on any TV show in the world. And so in A Year in the Life, you see Rory with Logan in like the first episode, and I was like, yes!
How many? Oh, excuse me. How many years has it skipped since the last scene? Like real time? Is it like
Yeah,
the amount
real
of
time,
real time that's passed?
Yeah.
So it's been like 5 years,
No.
longer, like
20
8,
years.
20 years
Like 15 years.
since
yeah.
it was last on.
Yeah.
So it was last on in 2001.
Let me check that. Might be 10 years. 2007, so yeah, 10 years, sorry, not
Right.
15.
Right. 9 years.
10 years. So, like, Rory's grown up now, Lorelai's older now, you find out her and Luke still aren't married, but they've obviously always been together from the end of the show, and the fact that they're not married is, of course, a big thing to Emily. But obviously, with the loss of Edward Herman in 2014, like,
Is that the dad guy?
yeah, it's
Richard?
Richard. So he's obviously not here for it. But throughout Gilmore Girls, I think
It's
they
just CGI him like he did Star Wars.
you're awful. Throughout Gilmore Girls, I think it worked really out because throughout the original series, he has quite a few heart attacks, and you see him having a couple of heart attacks.
And that's how
in
he
the
died in real
show.
life?
I'm not sure how he died in real life, actually.
But is that how they worked it out in the
That's
show
how-
that he took a heart attack?
That's how they worked it, yeah. He took another heart attack.
So that's where it's not good because obviously the guy died, but it's good in a way that it kind of it's not told out of the blue.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just like-
So like I rewatched the whole the whole 7 series of Gilmore Girls before A Year in the Life came out because I'm extremely sad like that. And
I know.
the last episode of Gilmore Girls, Emily and Richard are saying goodbye to Rory because she's going on the Obama campaign. So like Amy Sherman Palladino basically called the future of like Obama being president. And he's saying goodbye to her. And it's really touching because obviously Rory and Richard have like a really like close relationship. So it's really touching, and Emily says, oh, it's not like it's the last time you're going to see her. But knowing now that he dies, it almost is the last time he sees her. And that, to me, was really, really touching and sad. But, no, A Year in the Life, it was, everyone was there. Everyone was in it. Everyone was back to it. You can tell...
Because I haven't done it since it was a paycheck.
No, you can tell that, well... The guy who plays Dean is now one of the biggest TV shows that's ever been on the TV. He's the lead role in Supernatural.
Oh.
And
Not a show I don't watch.
Melissa McCarthy,
Oh Christ!
Lauren Graham,
I don't know who that is.
and Alexis Bledel. She's in Sin City and everything.
Oh, aye.
So that was incredibly narrow-minded of you to say that.
Oh, not. You know what I mean? No, like
No.
you do something like as like fucking big
They've
as
all
that,
came back
then
because
it's like, but it's
it's like a family.
aye, but it's like still game. Like they were famous in Scotland, but they never done it, and then it was like, oh, it's back. Oh, well, I'll get paychecks. Let's just go back and do it. It's better than fucking River
That's
City.
not why they did it. That's not why they did it.
Okay, maybe I'm just being.
That's
cynical.
not why Still Game did it either.
Okay, maybe I'm just being cynical.
Still Game did it as a way of getting Ford Kiernan back to his normal self after his son died. You're such
Possibly.
a horrible person.
I try.
It's actually disgusting.
Thank you. Right. Oh, still game. That was the TV show I watched in 2016, but I thought it was disappointing, to be honest. The Crown was another big thing this year. I have no interest in it because I have no interest in the royal family.
Finished my Gilmore Girls thing.
Oh, we'll continue. What? What's dropping the podcast? Are you wanting to talk about it?
Well, I was literally in the middle of talking about it, and then
I thought you were
moved
done.
on to something
I thought you were done. Right, go.
No. So you can tell that they've all came back because it's such a massive community thing. But with the thing of Richard, namely, like basically having an affair, you see Rory and Logan together in the first episode, and you think amazing, they're together, and then you realise that they're not. He's also engaged.
Right.
To some bird for France, and you're like, who? And that got me particularly raging. I wasn't happy with that. But I am definitely Team Logan. So now that she's kind of turned around, and he'd done this whole romantic thing for her with like the rest of the Life or Death Brigade, like, and like I think it was the second last episode, maybe the last episode. And it was just amazing, and you're thinking, no way can you possibly leave her and go and get married to somebody else. No, like, physical way can you do it. And he leaves, and I kind of had it in my head that he would be back for it at some point, because they have that kind of relationship that just would kind of need to last. And now that she's turned around and said, Mum, I'm pregnant, pretty sure no one else is that it could be except for his. So that makes me happy. And Jess was in it, and I was never Team Jess. I thought Jess was asshole. But it was nice to see him back. It was nice to see them still having like some form of a relationship, and he's obviously still in love with her, but she doesn't even know who he is.
Does it bother you that they made you wait all this time to find out who she ended up with, and then didn't really answer it?
But
Like,
see, that was the thing that Amy Sherman Palladino said, was that when people were like debating who she would be with and who she wouldn't be with, that wasn't what she wanted out of it.
well,
She wanted people to be debating as, is she a big journalist? What kind of work would she be doing? Where is she in the world? Like, looking more at her as a person rather than who she would end up with.
but well, I feel like though they didn't answer it because they knew that no matter who they chose, they would go and piss off a lot of people. Do you think?
She
Do you think it was them
pretty-
being safe, like not going with
She had a
not committing?
different. She had a completely different boyfriend
Right,
who
but nobody asked for that.
was very forgetful.
Do you know what I mean?
It was a funny kind of anecdote to add into it. It was. But no, like, I think the way that they did it is very Gilmore Girly, like, because it's like life, like, you don't always definitely end up with someone, do you know what I mean? That's what's so good about Gilmore Girls, is it's so relatable to everybody about
Is that
their
you?
own life.
Is that you hitting there? Aye.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah,
put
no.
up my shit.
Definitely. But, it is though, like, that's like the point, like, you really don't, unless you proper know, then you really don't know. And she was extremely young when she leaves.
Life advice by Courtney.
Yeah.
Either know or you don't know until you properly know, but even then you might not know.
Shut up.
What?
You make me sound so stupid.
I don't know if you know what the fuck you're talking about.
Shut up.
Does it bother you that like the whole kind of maybe not gimmick, but the whole kind of biggest question of the show was who she's going to end up with, and now it's who's the father of the baby? Do you know, like it's a wee bit kind of cheap, a wee bit
No, I quite like
kind of
the fact
leading
that she's pregnant.
carrot in the end of the stick for the audience, like leading you on a bit.
I quite like the fact that she's pregnant because
Hmm.
the whole situation started with Lorelai accidentally becoming pregnant.
Yeah, she was maybe really young when she had her, wasn't
She
she?
was 16.
What age is the daughter character now?
32.
Oh well, it's totally different now.
Yeah, it's different,
Yeah, but it'd be
but
better if
she's
she
still
was-
not in a stable place. Like, she's still
Aye.
not
But
got a stable job. She's...
it would be better though if it was like history repeating itself. If she
It
was
is in a way
16.
though. It is in a way though.
Or that.
Because she's not prepared for it. Like, she might be older, but she's not in a place of comfort. Like, if she brought a baby into the world, you don't even know where the baby would live.
Right.
Like, she would end up having to either move back to Stars Hollow or move in with her mum. Like,
My ears are bleeding for listening to Gilmore Girls talk. So
shut up.
The Crown came on this year. I don't care because I hate the Royals, but you watched it or some of it. What did you think?
It's very good. I was watching it today actually. It's very good. I'm gonna get her name wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Kate Foy who plays Elizabeth. She's very good. And
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith is fantastic. I think he portrays Philip very well because he
An
really,
old racist twat.
yeah, pretty much, like, he really gets across like his controlling side, like, and it kind of shows you stuff. It's Claire Foy, not Kate. It kind of shows you stuff that I wouldn't expect it to show you. Like, it shows you him wanting Van, what's his name, as like the name of the house, like, rather than Windsor. It shows you that. It shows you how controlling he wants to be. Just now it's showing you that she tried to make him the chairman of her coronation, and he tried to change everything. Like, it was him that got her coronation televised.
Right.
And the line of, "Are you my wife or my queen?" and she says, "I'm both." And a wise man would kneel to both. That, when I seen that in the trailer, I was like, alright, okay, that was like a kind of cop-out cheesy line. But in the film, it proper hits you because he's a very proud man. He's very stuck in his ways. And she kind of smacks him in the face with it because he's being a bit of a dick. And he's like, cutting him out, like, "Oh, are you my queen or my wife?" And he's being really patronising to her. And you're like, she's in a horrible situation in her life. Her dad's just died and she's been shoved into this. She's not had any time to adjust to it. They were on holiday when her dad died, and she came back and got a crown shoved on her head.
Mm.
And she's in a horrible situation. And don't get me wrong, I've got no sympathy for the Queen at all. Like, they don't properly do anything.
Not about any issues. That's why they live so long. They never have a mortgage to worry about. They never have bills, cars to pay.
I suppose.
Do you know what I mean? They don't even worry about anything.
But he's very controlled. He's not a nice man. You can see their relationship in some parts of it where they're kind of like a normal couple sometimes.
Right.
And that's nice to see. But you can see his pride being damaged, and when she turns around and tells him I'm both, and a wise man would kneel to both, it's like a smack in the face.
You a bitch.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
the queen.
that's exactly what it's like, and it's like, to be perfectly honest, while watching it, she's been shoved around by all kind of members of Parliament and the House of Commons and everything, and Churchill is, he's not a nice man either, but she's being like picked apart by all these people, and this is the kind of first time that she stands up and like stands up for herself, and you're like, yes, hen, on you go. So you should, like, 100%. John Lithgow, fantastic choice for Churchill.
Is he Churchill?
Yeah.
Can he do the accent? Nah.
Yeah, oh my god, like,
Right.
it's quite...
Does he look himself, or is he, like, got makeup on? And
No, he
That's
looks... First, when I seen him in the trailer, I was quite astounded. Like, I was like, whoa, he looks so much like him. But when you see him in the show, you kind of notice his features and that a bit more. And it is John Lithgow, but...
Have you seen Gary Oldman playing? He's playing Churchill.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen it. He's
totally
doing
different
it,
as well.
yeah.
You know with him.
Well, he's put on, I don't know if it's a fat suit that he's got on and lots of makeup, but if it's not, he's put on a hell of a lot of weight for it. He's they've really aged him. I mean, he's an old man anyway, but they've really aged him. But no, it's very good. You see how much of a slut Princess Margaret is, because she is having sex with the king's aide, like the king's best pal. You see the king dying, and it's Thingy that plays the king. What's his face?
An old British actor.
Jared Harris.
Who's that?
He's in everything.
Sure. Oh wait, fight! Oh, that guy. Yeah, this is good podcasting. What's he in? Give the listeners some.
He's in Lincoln. He's in Sherlock. He's
Sherlock,
in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. He's in Allied.
Okay. I know who he is.
He's in the lot.
Okay.
He plays the king, and you can see why the people loved him so much. He was also forced into being the king because the Duke of Windsor obviously abdicated before he was even coronated. And it's Alex Jennings that plays him.
Right.
And then you see Queen Mary dying, and it's Aileen Atkins that plays her, and she's very good. She's quite sassy. I quite like it. Don't get me wrong, I think it is quite sympathetic with the royals, which is something that puts me off of it quite a lot. But I like it. It's good watching.
How do you think they got permission? Do you think they asked them? Like, if it was me,
because they've got like personal photos of them and stuff.
if it was me, I'd always tell they were dead to be dead in 10 years anyway. Make it then.
Not all of them.
No, but they two will be. You know what I mean? Just make it then. I don't know.
You see
That's what I'd do.
Charles and
The other
Anne.
one. Aye. Well, she's one you don't see.
You see them being born, and he's got quite a good relationship with them when they're young.
Right.
I don't know how far up they're going to take it. Don't know if they're going to take it
I thought they'd go
all the
modern
way.
day.
I don't know if they're going to take it up to Diana or whatever. But no, I like it. It's got some really good shots in it as well. It shows when the smog descended on London and different things like that. It shows you Philip learning to fly and stuff.
Has it got to the war yet? No.
The war's been.
Oh, is it? Alright.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Luke Cage was another big show this year. It was good, right? It was good at the time, but it's the worst Marvel TV show so far. And it's the only one I wouldn't go back to. I'd go back and watch Daredevil again. I'd go back and watch Jessica Jones again. I don't think I would go back and sit through Luke Cage again. And I thought the end. The first half's pretty good. It starts a bit slow and then it gets good. And then, in fact, the first it's like thirds. The first third is slow, but okay, like watchable.
Mhm.
The second third's really good and
Mhm.
exciting, and then the third just becomes like a weird, like stupid cheesy comic
Yeah.
book movie, like Batman and Robin cheesy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or Batman Forever. It's like,
Like
what's
the
going
guy
on?
that plays
The big turtle costume and all that.
Diamondback, like Eric Liddy Harvey.
When he came into it, like what?
He just annoyed
Uh-huh.
me.
I know,
Like,
Dr. Dre, but it wasn't Dr. Dre. It was weird.
He was not
And
good.
I really liked Cottonmouth, and they killed him off like
Loved
halfway through
Courtney.
for
He
no.
was such a
just for
good
shock value.
villain. Yeah.
They should have just kept him to the and kill him off at the end. Sure, they killed David Tennant off and Jessica Jones, so kill him off at the end, fine. But
I thought it was quite a good twist at the time, but then I didn't know where they were going to take it.
yeah, and who the replacement was going to be, and it turned out to be.
And then it turned out to be
Oh,
him,
shit.
and he was really annoying. I really, really like Mike Coulter.
Hmm.
I think he's awesome.
I
He's
thought-
also incredibly sexy, which helps.
I thought her that was Mr. Knight was good as well. She was good, the detective.
Oh, yeah. Simone Missick, her name is. I love Theo Rossi with all my heart.
He was good. He
I
he
love
he
him.
actually carried the last third after
Yeah,
Cottonmouth died.
he did.
He carried.
the whole
in,
thing.
in terms of like the protagonist side, he was the best thing on that.
Yeah.
And he carried it
He
definitely.
was very good, yeah.
The female villain was
Alfre
okay as well.
Woodard, her who played Mariah, she
Yeah,
was
Mariah.
okay.
I thought
She came and went.
I thought
Yeah.
her performance was really, really good, but I don't know if I liked the character on the writing
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah,
I thought her performance was good, but and then our Marvel show was Daredevil season 2, which I thought was really good.
I loved. I really liked it.
I liked addition John Berthel's Punisher. It's a different Punisher to what we've seen. He's not just a kill machine. He's genuinely a bit more realistic. He's called a soldier with PTSD that's almost getting an addiction to killing, and it's quite sad. It's quite tragic. Like usually, you're like Punisher's awesome, and then this is kind of like Punisher's a bit fucked up. Like maybe we should get help. Like Jesus, do you know what I mean? Like, and he's like crying and stuff in court, and it's like whoa.
Fantastic.
You can see that he's really damaged.
He's fantastic. I think
He's a
that's,
very good actor.
I think it's the best portrayal of the Punisher because he's still badass and you're like he's so
Aye.
cool, but at the same time there's
Yeah,
depth.
you feel a
to
bit
him.
sorry for him.
There's definite
I
depth.
don't know about definitively saying it's the best, but it's definitely the most realistic. Like it's the best from like an acting writing perspective. It's maybe not my favourite, but it's the best.
It's probably my favourite.
It's the best from like an acting and writing perspective.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
He was
is
good.
just
He's not in this season as much, but when he's
a
in it, he's good.
genius.
He's a real good Kingpin. I really hope to bring him into films, like Spider-Man films and stuff.
Yeah, me too. I hope
And he's
so.
like Spider-Man
I
film.
hope so.
Because Kingpin's a big Spider-Man film in the comics, so they should.
Is he?
Yeah, Daredevil and Spider-Man. I like this two, that Kingpin
Mhm.
and Punisher.
Two worst superheroes. I
Daredevil's
love.
awesome. Spider-Man, I get
Wall.
why you don't like him.
I really like Deborah.
Karen, yeah, again, no, she's not. I feel like she was better. She was maybe not. I don't think her performance was any worse, but her character was better in the first season.
Yeah.
She was okay in this season, but and
So
Foggy,
was Fozzie's though.
Foggy.
Foggy. That's right.
The two of them were more prominent and better in the first. I think it's just because there's more going on now because you've got the whole Punisher storyline and then
Yeah, I
you're
just
bringing
I
in
think they were
other.
going for them. I
other
just think they were
characters.
kind of shoved in a wee bit.
Rosario Dawson was good in it as well. I feel like she's good in them all.
Yeah.
Again, though, her worst kind of character arc I feel like is in Luke Cage, and I kind of think I feel like that's because she started a relationship with Luke Cage and it felt a bit
that
forced.
just annoys me.
Yeah,
Like, so she
had a
got
thing with Matt in the first season of
Matt in
Daredevil.
the first season. Then she got with Luke Cage, and then it was like, well, what happened with
Jessica Jones, I know.
I mean, to be fair, she did kill his wife, but
Yeah, but they have to get together and like have a kid, and then he grows up to a superpower as well, because that's what happens in the comics.
you didn't like Ella DeYoung, did you?
Who's that?
Elektra?
She was. Oh my god, what was that performance all about? What was her accent all about? What was the character all about? She was the worst thing. Every time she was on screen, I wanted to just put it off. Like if it wasn't for Stick being awesome and Matt Murdock being pretty cool, then yeah, she was awful. She was the worst thing in it. And when she died, spoilers. I mean, Elektra dies in the comics, came back, so no fucking spoilers really. But when she was dead, this is the one time that I thought Elektra should just stay dead. Do you know how bad it was? Right. I prefer Jennifer Garner's performance in the bad Ben Affleck movie.
Oh, that's because Jennifer Garner is a genius. I love Jennifer Garner.
That everybody in that film poor. Like even what's his name, Michael Clark Duncan and Colin Farrell are phoning it in. Like
I think you need Jigsaw. Michael Clark Duncan is never bad in anything. Never.
He's not.
In anything.
I'm gonna say he's
Ever.
bad, but
Not
he's,
ever.
he's clearly phoned it in
And
in
nothing.
Daredevil.
Nah.
They all are.
No.
They all are.
No.
Even what's his face?
No.
Even what's his name? Happy
Nah.
for Iron Man. What's his
No.
name? John Favreau. Even
No.
he's phoned it in.
No.
Like,
Wrong.
fight me in real life. Right. Yeah, one of the best TV shows this year, I think, and I want it could be a contender. The Night Manager.
Oh,
Was
fantastic. Yeah.
It was short and sweet. It was 6 episodes, and it was like, I was like, these many. Do you know what it was like? You know how you get like when I used to read and stuff, you get like James Bond
That
like
one time.
novellas. Like obviously, the films are based on the James Bond novels, but there's like the short ones.
Yeah.
I feel like these were like 6 of them, and it really worked.
Tom Hiddleston.
And there was such an arc to the character, and there was so many twists, and Hugh Laurie was brilliant at it as well.
I love Hugh Laurie. I think Hugh Laurie has to be one of my top 10 favourite actors.
Aye.
I
actually liked how, I can't remember the blonde girl's name, but I like how she started off as just being, she started it as a pure love interest, and I was like, oh, here's another just Bond girl character, and she ended up actually having a lot of character and a lot of arc when you find out about her past and the baby she lost, and the fact she hates him, and she's kind of a spy almost, like, I really like the way,
she has a child somewhere else.
I like the way they implemented her into it.
Yeah,
I thought it was really
liked her.
unexpected and pleasantly unexpected. She was phenomenal as well.
Phenomenal. She's phenomenal.
Aye, she's a brilliant actress.
The fact that
she was a brilliant actress.
For that, she was written into that.
Yeah,
she was meant to be a man.
And she was pregnant when she was filming as well.
Yeah.
And they were filming in like really hot countries.
The fact that it was changed to a woman
for her.
Was one thing. And then she went away and came back and went, by the way, just to let you know I'm also pregnant. And then she was extremely heavily pregnant the whole way through filming, and she did not lack.
Touch her performance at all.
She did not lack physically
she just used it,
or emotionally. Nothing was lacking, and that is just.
I love when you see an actor taking something that's a bit of an inconvenience and using it in the performance.
Yeah, using it.
It's really,
because she
really commendable.
And there was, I seen an interview with her.
When people say acting's not a real job, but when you have to do shit like that, kind of is. You know, that is a challenge.
Well,
like.
Thank you. But I seen an interview with her, and apparently
she's really funny in real life as well.
One of the crew that was on the set asked her if she could walk a little less pregnant.
That's right.
And she was like, "No, I am that pregnant. I cannot move. Yeah. This is just what you need to work with." I really like that. And I thought
the ending wrapped up a bit too nicely for me. That was the only thing. But it's a 6-episode miniseries.
Leaves it open for more.
No, I think they closed it too much.
No,
I think they should have left more things open. Like, but it's because they don't know if they're doing another one or not. Do you know what I mean? They're ending it in case this is it. But I would have liked to have seen some things kind of. Everything ended, like was finished, and it's like 6 episodes long. I don't feel like we've seen these characters for enough time to have this amount of closure, if that makes sense.
Tom Hollander was very good.
He was good as well when he was in it. He's a wee shite, but he was very good in that.
He was very good.
And the guy for Homeland, David Hayes in Homeland, he was in it. He was good in it too. The English guy, but he also was American. David Harewood.
Oh, yeah. I like him. Is he English in real life?
Yeah, he's English in real life.
Oh,
I think he's a Cockney. He's American in Homeland, he's American in that. Aye. He's got an American accent. Good actor.
And Alistair Petrie.
Guy for Rogue One.
Yeah. He was
a bit of a knob in it as well, but he was
a horrible guy in it. Horrible
but
guy.
His character worked. He was good at being, and him that was Hugh Laurie's crony, him the Scottish guy. I like him.
Michael Nardone.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's in. That's one of the guys you see in horrors. He's
always
a henchman, a bodyguard.
Yeah.
He's in Departed, does he know? As you know, the one he hangs with Ray Winston.
So yes.
He's like Ray Winston's kind of one of his good, well, also one of Jack Nicholson's good, but he's good. He's good in that role.
Yeah, and
he had a bit more to do in this. So, right, Peaky Blinders season 4 was it? Season 3 was brilliant. Again,
outstanding.
I used to be jealous of Americans because their TV shows were like 22 episodes long, 24 episodes long. But as I've got older, I realised shows like Peaky Blinders and Night Manager,
short and sweet,
6 episodes long, but it's 6 episodes of pure quality, like from start to finish.
There's no filler.
There's no dragging their heels. It's just
nothing. It's
sharp. And like Stranger Things was like, it was only 8 episodes, but that's all it had to be. Like Daredevil dragged for me. That could have been 10 episodes. It was 13. It could have been 10. Do you know what I mean? Like, and Luke Cage was the same.
Oh, definitely.
Luke Cage more so.
Luke Cage could have been 4.
Like,
we watched, actually, a side note, we watched the second episode of Luke Cage first.
Yeah, that's right.
And didn't even notice.
Aye.
And then watched the first episode, and it did not affect the viewing
didn't really affect,
at all.
No.
Not even a wee bit.
But Peaky Blinders was great. Everybody's great in that show. Like, Cillian Murphy steals it.
I was very surprised that they killed off Grace, but at the same time, I think it definitely worked.
Aye, because it has descent and it just
Madness.
even more insanity. He's clearly got PTSD and he's the head of a crime family in Birmingham and
I think
Aye,
it
he's
is
clearly
such
nuts
a
already, but-
well casted show in terms of like the acting, but also in terms of like
Production.
the
production of it.
They look like a family. They all look
Alright,
the
yeah,
same.
yeah. No, but I mean, like, I love the style of the show though as well. Like the shots, the kind of colour palette they use,
Yeah.
the lighting,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
music,
Oh
like
my
it
God,
works. The tone's
It's
amazing.
an
The
extremely
tone's incredible.
sexy show.
Yeah, the tone's really well put.
It's an extremely sexy show.
Did
But
you miss Sam Neill this season? I kind of missed him being in all shit.
like,
He was good when he was in it, and Peggy was great as well. And Tom Hardy, even though he's not in it no much this season, when he comes in it, it's always great as well.
Right, I'm not even joking. Right, I was literally just about to comment on how much, Michael and the three brothers all look the same.
Are the brothers?
Michael, Finn Cole, who plays
The
Michael,
young boy, aye.
and Joe Cole, who plays John.
Are brothers?
They're like related. I don't know if they're brothers, but they're
That's
definitely
cool.
related.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
And like, but I also think that both Joe and Finn look a lot like Cillian Murphy.
And
It's
that
in
Paul
the
Anderson.
eyes. I don't necessarily think Paul Anderson looks very much like him. I think Paul Anderson looks like, oh my god, his name's just totally at my head, Chips.
Tommy Flanagan.
Tommy Flanagan.
Because he's her
yes,
dad.
thank you. I think Paul Anderson looks like him,
Mm.
and then I think they all look like him, which in a way works because I don't look like Craig.
Yeah.
But we all look like each other.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Arthur's my favourite character in it. Arthur's
Yeah,
insane.
Arthur's
He's phenomenal.
mental.
Because you don't know if he's going to like be really loving and cuddly, or is he going to shoot somebody, or if he's just going to go insane and like
yeah, and like break someone's
yeah,
neck.
yeah.
Like
He's
break
just
someone's
you just don't
face
know.
off.
Every episode is totally different. Every scene he's in, he's totally different. You don't know what
Like,
version you're getting.
Paul Anderson is a
And I love-
phenomenal actor.
And I love seeing how like throughout, like Tommy's just getting
Yeah,
so
like,
fed up.
just
with him.
to
But he
act
can't
them.
do anything
He
because
reacts
his
to them in
brother.
different ways every time he does it though, which is what impresses me as well.
Aye, it's a lot like The Godfather. It's a lot like Bruno and Michael
Yeah,
in The Godfather.
yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
And eventually Michael had Bruno
You
killed.
can
I hope he doesn't. I
tell-
hope he doesn't have Arthur killed. But
You can tell the chemistry between all of them, like from all the brothers to Polly to all of them. The chemistry is there, and it works, and they feel comfortable enough with each other to act like an actual family and not be scared to
punch each other and
Aye.
like, rub each other in the cuddle and
exactly, and you can tell that there is that dynamic there. I just love that. I
Aye.
love that.
That's a brilliant series. Okay.
Can't wait for it to come back.
I put this one down because this is like Planet Earth 2. I thought it was actually really good.
I loved it.
I really enjoyed
I
it
loved
this year. I mean, everybody saw the lizard clip that was all over the internet.
Yeah, loved it.
But
I
the
also
episode
loved how there was more children and like more like young kids watching
this
Planet
the-
Earth the X Factor.
Yeah, yeah.
That made me happy
Aye.
inside.
Which gives you hope for humanity, doesn't it?
Oh, but it was so fascinating.
Aye, that's incredible. The monkeys in that city and stuff, stealing
Oh.
everything, and
Yeah,
And
and,
then
as
the
you said, like
lions
you
and-
see people sitting in Paisley feeding pigeons, and
Aye.
you'd never do it, but you'd happily feed a monkey.
and I suppose it's the same principle, isn't it?
Yeah,
Aye, it was really good. Attenborough shows are always brilliant, and
aye.
the shots they get are insane. Like you're like how.
I also
Not only is the picture crystal clear, it's like
Yeah.
following like a snake as
and
it,
a mouse. Remember
a
the
mouse. That's when it really impressed me as it was going through the grass, and it
Yeah.
was like, how is that not CGI? That's a real
Yeah.
mouse, and it's not bothered. They've got close enough that they're not bothering the mouse, but they're still. Oh, it's
Catching
amazing.
What I
It's
liked
incredible.
about this.
That was amazing. He was going between the
series.
grass and the
Yeah,
bird was
and he
shooting for him.
fell,
That was awesome.
and
Aye.
I was like, run, little mouse, run.
Aye. That's good shit.
Yeah, but what I liked is that they showed the dynamic of the diaries of how they
Yeah,
got some
yeah,
of
because
the
that's the first time
shots
we've
and
done
stuff.
that. Aye.
Like the one with the bugs, like
Oh, it was horrible.
the-
And they were
whatever
all
they
over the
were.
road. It was like ants, wasn't it?
there was the ants, but then there's the ones that were flying,
Oh, no,
and
that
they were
was
like
horrible.
standing
Oh,
in
aye.
the middle of it, and I was
And
like,
he was running through them, and you're like, what are you doing?
you're like, stop!
Oh, actually just thinking about it.
That's horrible.
But those guys are committed to getting a bloody photo of a
Brave.
penguin. No, I mean, it's not that much. It's not, it's not really that important, mate. But apparently it is.
I
It
mean,
makes
to
for
be
good
fair,
TV.
like, if it was to cuddle a penguin, then
Aye.
sure, get a photo one. No, not sure share anymore.
Right, it's good. Season 12 Always Sunny in Philadelphia? It was on this year. That was great. That was on at the start of the year.
You can take
It was
away
incredible.
this.
No, I was just joking. It's just, you know what you're getting. We always, well, that's the thing, you know what you're getting, but they always still manage to
I
shock
watched
you.
the first few seasons and I liked it.
We watched like the first 6, and I watched like the rest
You just
myself.
started watching it yourself,
Yeah.
and I was like cancelled out after that. I was like, okay.
Um,
Whenever I went to watch it, you were like 8 episodes ahead of where I had left it.
we
I was
we
like,
can.
what's
I'll
going on?
happily go back and watch it again with you. Like, I don't mind at all. I love the show. But exactly, like, you just, you didn't. I think you liked it, but you didn't love it like I did. And then it was because we were taking too long. I was like,
See,
and you were like, no, let's watch something else. So I was like, no, just go watch it myself.
I really liked the first few seasons that didn't have Danny DeVito.
I
in
like
it.
Danny DeVito on that.
Danny DeVito does my. I love Danny DeVito, but he does
Frank
my boxing in
Reynolds
that
does your
show.
boxing.
He does my absolute boxing. I think everybody else is hilariously funny.
Yeah.
And I remember an
The wrong
episode where they
channel
were
on
in
that
the restaurant and they're sitting in a restaurant and like all of them turn up at this restaurant and one of them has the voucher for the restaurant, one of them's sitting beside the kitchen, like the door to the kitchen. It's Charlie and I think Frank sitting at the door to the kitchen. And
Yeah, and they're in suits.
yeah.
And Dennis is in the squeaky chair, the shaky chair, and Mac's
then
sitting there, and
Dee's there with the
yeah, she's trying
the
to,
voucher.
and they tie the shoelaces together, the waiter under that. And, yeah,
That episode.
that was a good episode.
Sticks in my mind. That
That
was
was
a really
good,
funny
aye.
episode.
Aye.
And the it was one of the first episodes, but they try and but they try and black up the baby.
Yeah. Oh my God. So they do.
Yeah. That
How did I
is.
get away with that?
There's some things that you just have to wonder. And then the one where Dee gets a new car.
Yeah.
That one's funny
Yeah.
too. And they're trying to. And
Have you
Charlie's
seen
never
the one-
left Philadelphia before.
Yeah.
He physically can't go over the border.
Yeah. That's right. Aye.
Yeah.
Have you seen one Reynolds versus Reynolds? And it's like a court
I
case,
think I have.
and Dennis is driving in the car with his cereal. He's eating cereal while he's driving.
Yeah.
And
the
he
cereal
crashes.
spills.
Either he crashes out D, he crashes out D, but he's trying to say it's not his fault, and
Because
it
Dee was
turns out
backing up or something.
a whole court
yeah.
case. Oh, that's
That
incredible.
is
It's-
funny, yeah.
That's so good, man. Right, Orange is the New Black. We were very excited for this year. Probably our most anticipated this year.
Yeah, I think so.
I
I started watching Orange is the New Black before you,
yeah, yeah,
and then I made you watch it,
yeah.
which very rarely
You convinced me.
happens. Is me
I don't think
convincing
I
you
would
to
like it
watch
at all,
something.
and started watching it and realised that the characters were extremely well written and extremely funny, and it was just such a quick, witty show, and I was like, aye, this is good shit.
I think it was really Crazy Eyes that caught you.
It's purely the characters. Like,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the characters, the show would be nothing. Like, just
Yeah.
like the cast make it, both the writing and the performances. But it was brilliant this season. It was you were extremely sad at the end when your favourite character passed on.
Not just like my favourite character, like my favourite person in the world.
Yeah.
Like I'd leave you for her.
Would you leave Samira away? Do you know what? I wouldn't be too mad about that. I'd be fine with that.
Like I don't think it would even come into question.
But aye, it was good.
I'm not sure if I can talk.
We've not been back and watched it again.
We've not.
And I think it's because you're so
Because of that?
traumatised. But I'd like to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, me too.
Right, okay, well. Because I started writing a review for it and I lost it. I told you I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
I can't,
yeah,
did I write?
yeah.
Did I finish it? I can't remember. And then I lost it, so I'll go back because I might watch it again and then rewrite
Yeah.
the review. But it's pretty great.
Fantastic. I think I'm really starting to think that the supporting cast is carrying it. Like with
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Piper's worst character in it.
yeah, worst
The most
character.
unlikable. And
Alex also, like, I'm not a massive fan.
I'm not a massive fan, but I like Britton Piper.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
nowhere near
Yeah,
as
I
like
it
bad
better
as
than Piper,
Piper.
obviously. But when it gets to people like Tasty and Crazy Eyes and
Per se.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Lottie, that was devastating.
Lolly. Oh, when it ended up Lolly,
Not Lolly, not
she got
Lottie,
taken
sorry.
away.
Lolly, and she was in the
Not enough porn stash. Was he in it at all, actually?
no,
No.
he wasn't in it.
And
at
not
all
enough.
this season.
What's his name? The scumbag that ran away with.
Bennett.
Got her pregnant. Bennett.
There was
Get
so
Dyer
many
pregnant.
questions left unanswered to Bennett.
Good how it ended though when Di was pointing the gun at. Was it Piscatella she was pointing the gun at? Or was it just
No,
Norgard?
it was the horrible one.
The wee
It
guy
it
that was like
the wee guy
raping.
that was trying to
What's her name?
rape
To
Pennsatucky? No, it wasn't
Pennsatucky.
him. It was the other one. It was
right.
the other one who was creepier than that. Who was
Right.
like who made Daya eat the baby
Yeah.
mouse.
Aye, that's right.
It wasn't Daya. It was Maritza. He made Maritza
That's
eat
right.
the
So
baby
it did.
mouse. That was horrible.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah. I hope you.
This season was the most messed up season they've done
Yeah.
by far.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's clearly
This
getting
season
more
was the
insane as it goes
darker
on.
season.
It's getting more like mad as it goes on now.
I think that's kind of what it's trying to make you do though, because obviously the longer that these women are in an institution like this,
They're getting more used to the insanity,
the
and
more their
they're
mind
going
goes,
up losing it more. Aye,
they're
definitely.
getting
Less used to reality.
Stockholm syndrome.
Aye, and they're
being
getting less
stuck in
used to the
somewhere,
outside
yeah.
world. And I like how we didn't see like Larry or any of that shit this season. I'm done with all that stuff.
Them, yeah.
It was good about last season. I like Cal. I like the brother. Um,
Yeah, he's good.
he's the best thing. He's the
Yeah.
best like
Yeah.
non-prison character in it.
So funny.
That is funny. I'm going to see something about the new season, but I don't know. But no, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, I loved it. It was definitely worth the hype and the wait.
Aye, it was good. Better Call. Oh no, I was going to say season 3 was a dip. I thought season 1 and 2 were great, and I was a bit worried about season 4 because season 3 was a dip. But that's totally, I feel like
totally
it's
shot back
aye,
up to like season
the
1
standards of the
level.
first
Yeah.
2. Yeah, definitely. Better Call Saul was on at the start of the year as well.
Mm.
You I kind of ended up forcing you to watch this because you were getting really fed up with it by then. But I really enjoyed it. I think it's one
Not
of the
by
best.
the end. I think it was maybe like a couple episodes in.
I think it's one of the best shows on TV. I love it.
I really like it. I do.
But it seems to be people either
Love it or hate it.
not really hate it, but just think it's like a waste of time, it's boring and stuff, or people like love it and think it's a great addition to like, the universe. And
Like when it
It
came
seems to
to
be one
like the
opinion
part
or the
with
other.
Chuck, and like when you think Chuck's gonna die.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like,
That was really exciting. Yeah, when his and
that
the
was
copier
really good.
place, and
Yeah, it was
he'd-
very well done.
and like you're totally in his shoes because you like go and help your brother, but fuck that, like you don't. Do you know what I mean? And aye, that was good.
Yeah, it tests your kind of humanity.
Do you know what it reminded me of? And this was really sad, but you know how like the Telltale games, like the Walking Dead games, and then or like even like, Until Dawn,
Yeah,
and you
you
get
have
these
to
really
decide.
hard decisions, and you're
You
like
have to
both
decide
are
what
bad
way to go.
decisions, and you're like, oh, what's slightly worse and what's slightly better. Like that's what it reminded me of,
Yeah,
like
it tests
yeah.
like your kind of
morals.
morals. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. That was really good.
like
I'm looking forward to
I
next
do.
season.
I don't think it's anywhere near as good as Breaking Bad.
No, of course not. But it's an addition.
Really,
Do you know what I mean? It's
I
not
like
supposed
Bob
to be.
Odenkirk. I think he's
Yeah.
a brilliant actor. Like he was fantastic in Fargo, and
That's right. Aye.
what
That's
season
good.
was up next?
He's good.
I can't remember what it was.
And Saul's a character real good. When he first came out of Breaking Bad, I didn't like that character.
No, I did.
No, I didn't.
I liked him when he first came out
I
of Breaking
didn't.
Bad.
And like we watched Breaking Bad after it finished, and this had already been announced that Saul was getting his own spin off.
Oh really?
And I remember when he first came out, I was like, they're giving this character his
guy
own
getting
spin
a
off.
spin-off?
And then by the end of Breaking Bad, I really liked him, and then yeah, I think he's great. And suddenly watch it, I just like the character more. Another one, my favourite TV show this year was Preacher. I thought Preacher was fantastic. It
I
was,
loved Preacher.
like, I love the comic
Loved
book, and
it.
it's totally faithful. And Dominic Cooper was fantastic as Jesse, and I love Tulip as
Tulip is
like.
amazing.
See
I
if
want
you've
to
read
be
the comic,
Tulip.
she's purely damsel in distress love interest. Like
Really?
I mean, the comic was written in the 80s, so like every female
Right,
character
right,
then was like that. But I love the way they've updated it, and like a total like
Badass.
aye. She's
I
just
love Tulip.
don't fuck
Like,
with
if I
Tulip.
could be
Like I'd take my
anyone-
chances with Preacher before I would be her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Aye.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Aye.
And I love
Cassidy.
I have
He's phenomenal,
such
aye.
a love for him.
Yeah, he's good.
And what's his name? Joe?
I don't remember. I didn't know it was Joe.
Oh,
I was going to say Ian or Scott. I don't know. But he's brilliant. Again, updated for the comic, but better, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I fucking love Cassidy in the comic, but a good representation of him anyway. But aye, brilliant.
Joseph Gilgan.
Brilliant. Aye, Joseph Gill. Were you okay with how they ended it? They ended it like they wiped out the whole town, and it was just the three of them in the cafe and then in the car. And Arseface survived. He was like working in. He gets sent to hell.
He's still in hell.
And it turns out he's working in the cafe.
Yeah, but that's because the devil's like showing him to.
Because he's only Jessica can see him. Aye.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I
Right.
don't know if it's only
Right.
Jessica can see him. I can't remember, but like the devil's like tormenting him. I thought the two guys.
Yeah, the angels.
Yeah.
The English angels.
Yeah,
Aye, two of them were
yeah.
good.
Tom Brooke and Anatole Yusuf.
Yeah, they were good. And Jackie O'Hill was good in it. I know, but he was in it much.
horrible.
But aye.
He was
Yeah, that time.
horrible.
But I'm excited because this season led up to where the comic book starts. Like the comic book starts, the church blows up. Like Tulip is like the same thing happens with their history. Like they robbed a bank together and then fell out and whatever. So he's a preacher now, and she's still robbing banks. So she's just done a jewelry heist and she's running away. and the cops are chasing her, and then Cassidy, like, sees her and fancies her, so he just pulls up and he's like, "Do you need a lift, love?" and all that. So she jumps in, and he's like, "Where do you want to go?" And she's like, "Shit, I need to place to the low." She's like, "I'll go and hide in Jesse's church." Like, she's not seen him in years, so they drive to Jesse's church. But when they get there, they had a bit at the start when the spirit goes into him.
Yeah.
Like, that happens in the comic, but the whole church blows up and his whole congregation is dead. And he just walks out of this burning church, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And then, like, everybody, like, the cops come, and, like, the cowboy guy that can't die, he comes trying to get the spirit back, and the two angels haven't got, like, and that's how the comedy starts, and they're always in the run, like, it's like a road trip kind of thing. So that's, I think, where the TV show's going, like, it's starting where that started, like the first season was leading up to. So I'm excited for that.
From the sound of it, I prefer what they did with the show. In
In
terms of Cassidy falling out the plane, and
it kind of justifies
I like
all
it.
of this. Like, comic, you don't really get a chance to know these characters, and it's just stuff happens, and as it happens you get to know them. But now we know these characters, and, like, stuff did happen, but it's going to get a lot more fast paced, and
really
we're kind of
dark.
ready for it because we're
It was really dark.
I love.
But I really enjoyed it. I think Dominic Cooper's a fantastic actor.
He's very good.
Ruth Negga is...
She's phenomenal.
Fantastic. I think her accent's brilliant.
She's brilliant.
And
when she first came into it, because she was so different.
Have already worked together before as well.
Right. She's English as well, isn't she?
Yeah. She was in Misfits with him.
That's right. You told me that before.
And I think their dynamic together works really well in the show.
Chemistry,
because they can kind of take the mick at each other.
Yeah, and they're kind of like on. It's kind of like the whole best friend versus the girlfriend thing with Jessie.
Yeah.
It's good. At first when she went, I was. I think it was just me being narrow-minded because I'm used to just being a white blonde girl that's taught a dance on distress stereotypical character. Like, it was just such a change. I was like, this is a trope they're going with. But then once, like, she just started doing that opening scene where she's in the car fighting with the guy in the cornfield, like, I think that's how she gets introduced. Like, she immediately it's just you're just killing two guys. It's really cool. And then the flashbacks and the flesh her out, and then the way that she just does not take any shit for him, I love as well. Like, he says she thinks she's just like, shut up, Jesse.
Shut up.
Like, she just bit slaps them. Nah, she's good. We started watching Vinyl, and then we stopped watching it, and then it got cancelled. And I get why HBO cancelled, because they're used to shows like Game of Thrones that do insane numbers, and this just wasn't doing the numbers. But I mean, I feel it's a bit premature to cancel it. I mean, I had Mick Jagger and Scorsese attached to it. Do you know what I mean? It's a big show. And that Vinny Cannavalis, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
He's good. And he's quite a big actor, and you had Everybody Loves Raymond playing his pal. I don't know, I liked it. And I love Wild as well. But it has kind of put a dampener on it. I think now that it's cancelled, I'm hesitant to go back to it. If it was another season coming out, I would go back and marathon it. Like, we're looking for something to watch now, really, after we watched that the night off. So I would go back and watch it, but now I'm like, go back and watch it, but why? You're never going to go anywhere, so. I mean, I probably will at one point because I like it and I like the music and that, but
I liked it.
But
I love...
it's a bit sad that it got cancelled.
Olivia Wilde. I love her. I think she's so good. I absolutely love her, and she got really big like halfway through 2016 as well, in terms of like being like a style icon, and her and Jason
Segel she's married to? No. Jason
it
Clarke, him that's in Everest.
No. It's him that's
Statham?
in Horrible Bosses.
Jason Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis, yes, him. I was going to say Sudeikis, but then I keep getting him and Jason Bateman mixed up, so I thought maybe that was him. But no, her and Jason Sudeikis get married and had a kid and stuff, and I think people were quite surprised at that. But she became really big, especially around about Oscars time, like in the Met Gala, like her dress for that stuff was stunning. So like I really like her as an actress. I think she's really underrated. But no, I liked it too.
We might go back to
I thought Jagger's song was good in it.
one of the worst TV shows that's last year was that Lucifer, premiered in 2016. We watched the first episode and it was
give that
trash.
enough of a chance. I quite like
garbage. Again, I like the comic, and man, like the Preacher comic is similar in tone to the Lucifer comic, so that's what the show should have been, and it wasn't. It was this weird cheesy procedural cop drama.
We didn't even watch a
with
full
cheesy
first
CGI and bad acting and bad writing. No, it was pish.
We
Awful.
didn't watch
Awful.
the full first episode. I like
But they should have cancelled that and kept Vinyl. Because Lucifer's pish. again, probably one of the worst I've seen this year, and we still go back to it. It's Fear the Walking Dead. Season 2 was on this year.
Terrible.
We watched the first episode, and it's one of the worst episodes of a TV show I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
They're on a
terrible.
boat, and then they run away from some zombies, and then the son jumps in the water, and then the dad's like, I'm going to go in, no I'm not, and then the other son goes in, and then the dad goes in, and it just ended. It was like,
And then
what was...
she's
talking
talking
to
to
somebody on the
somebody on the radio.
And I was like, what was... That was 45 minutes of nothing at
Nothing.
all. It was such a waste of time, and it soured me so much that we've not watched
No,
the
not
rest.
watched it, yeah.
We thought it was that bad. We never...
I can't believe we made it through the first season, to be perfectly honest.
Are you not wanting to go back to it at all? Because I do want to go back just because it's Walking Dead. I want to go back to it and see where it goes.
Give it a chance. I know,
But
that's the thing, like, because it is The Walking Dead, you're like, right, there has to be something
but is it
justified.
enough? Is it enough to justify watching it?
know,
Do you know what I mean?
I
Like just
know.
because it's Walking Dead. But people have said season 2
Gets
gets better. Like
And I feel like, obviously,
good.
she's talking to somebody on a radio, and I feel like they're going to come into it, they're going to be a pretty good baddie.
aye, but
But
I don't know. She bring Clementine in it.
the only thing I liked about it is that their daughter was called Ophelia.
One of the things that you said was the worst TV of 2016 was the Rocky Horror Picture Show remake with Laverne Cox.
Okay.
Is that just a mess? Just total shite.
I've not even seen the
You know,
full
made
thing.
it all the way through. Could
No.
you just not do it? No.
No, turned it off. It is
I
awful.
had potential though. Like,
yeah, definitely.
she's good in Orange is the New Black, and
Yeah.
like
Fantastic. She's not even the worst thing in it. Like, she definitely isn't by any means at all.
I think it's what she had to work with.
They have Disney Channel actors playing these extremely controversial characters
Yeah, like sex
the
icons.
exact same ways they played their Disney Channel characters.
Right.
It's awful. They're
I think it's insulting to Tim Curry and
extremely
Richard Bryan
so.
and-
Like, I am so surprised that Tim Curry
Was that
had
it?
anything to do with it. Like, I am extremely
It's
surprised.
really sad seeing him in it.
They made Riff Raff good looking. They gave magenta pink hair. Like, we get it, her name is Magenta, you don't need to give her pink hair.
Yeah, that's lazy writing into it.
Like, they changed Columbia. I thought the girl who played Columbia looked very much like the original Columbia, but they made her do fake tap dancing, and Doc Martens.
That's right, you told me about that. That's right.
And it's not even like she's got tin cans crushed to the bottom of her shoes.
Yeah.
That she's blatantly wearing Doc Martens.
And it's not even convincing, like,
It's
in time
not
with it now.
in
Like, it's not even
time
synced right.
or
Yeah.
anything. And Laverne Cox comes in wearing this massive headpiece. She's not a transvestite, she's transgender.
Uh-huh.
There is a massive difference.
Yeah.
I'm not going into the politics of it because I can't be bothered.
No,
But at the same time, I'm quite surprised that she did it in the first place.
yeah. Sorry, is he not transgender though in the original? Because did he not say, I'm just a sweet transvestite, transsexual? Is that not the song?
I don't know. It never
I
gets,
think he is a
it never
tranny.
actually
Like, he is a
gets,
transsexual.
it never gets established properly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he
Aye, it's meant to be
does-
ambiguous. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not like 100% labels put on things. I didn't even make it to the point where Eddie comes into it.
Is that Meatloaf?
Yeah, because it's Adam Lambert. I love
Oh,
Adam
yeah, you told me
Lambert.
that.
Love him so much. He is not by any means in the world rough enough to play Eddie.
Right.
Not at all. Not even a wee bit. Slightly whatsoever. And
Aye,
then
he's not quite the same as Meatloaf, is he?
I didn't even want to see how they did Rocky. Like, I just stopped it. Stopped it. They have Victoria Justice playing Janet. They have some unknown actor playing Brad. And I'm like, stop
Dunzo.
before you actually kill someone. It was
That bad.
awful.
Okay, well, let's move on. Because you sound like you're getting off stressed out and worked up. Grease Live was a thing this year, and Vanessa Hudgens, who has comedies, was in it. How was that? Was that better?
I actually enjoyed that.
Was that better?
It was cheesy. It was...
But Grease is cheesy.
Yeah, but it was like...
But High School Musical kind of cheesy more than Grease. cheesy.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, right,
It
right.
was... But
I love Grease, the film. That's one of my musicals that I'll sit and watch.
Just as you said, Vanessa Hudgens was in it. I was extremely, I'm going to sound like one of our best pals here, but I was extremely proud of her for doing that, because the night before she had to go on and do that performance in front of a live audience, in front of a camera, her dad died, like, really suddenly, and she still went and did it.
Seems like a theme on TV this year. Did dads? Gilmore Girls and this, and I'm sure there was something else.
But And I know for a fact that if, God forbid, that ever happened to me, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Uh-huh.
And she did
That
it.
is ballsy, yeah.
And I thought it was really, really... And she did it well. She was Rizzo. And she was tame, but...
Vanessa Hudgens was Rizzo.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought she was Sandy.
No, it's Julianne Hough that's Sandy.
Okay.
And she was a fantastic Sandy. I thought she worked really well. She was from Iowa, rather than
Australia.
And it's Aaron Tivitt, who is, I've definitely not pronounced that right, who is Danny, and he's very good. I like that boy. He's awesome. He was in Gossip Girl for a while, and he does a lot on Broadway.
Stellar cast.
He does a lot on Broadway. He's very good. He's a very talented guy. No, I liked it. It was cheesy and it was cheap, but it was definitely... If you sit down and you want something and you're in the mood for that, then that's what to watch. It's great.
Was Hairspray Live a thing this year?
Yeah.
How was that?
I'm not...
There's a lot of musicals like televised this year.
Yeah, there was. I've not watched all of it. I've only watched a wee bit of it, but it looked okay.
Alright?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looked
going
pretty
back
decent,
to
yeah. The boy who played Larkin, which is Zac Efron's role in the film, looks a lot like a baby Zac Efron.
Mm-hmm.
Like facially, he was so like him, and he spoke like him, but no, it looked, from what I've seen, it was good. Ariana Grande was Penny, which I think is fantastic casting. Because I quite like Ariana Grande. She's a wee sweetheart, but her music's not very great. But as a person, she's pretty decent. And it was, I can never remember this man's name. Him with the daft voice.
Oh, I haven't seen the Smash.
Yeah.
God, it's really weird that I know that.
He's
He's in Mouse Hunt as well.
Harvey
No,
Firestein.
he's in... He might be in Mouse Hunt, but he's also in Mrs. Doubtfire. He does Rob Millie's makeup. He's the brother-in-law or the brother.
Harvey Firestein.
And who was... Mark Short was Christopher Walken, wasn't
Yes.
he? The dad.
Yes, he was. Derek Ho, who's Julianne Ho's brother.
Right.
He was Corny Collins. Jennifer
Is that James
Hudson.
Marsden in the film, eh?
Yeah. Jennifer Hudson was Maybelle, who was
Queen Latifah.
Kristen Chenoweth was Velma Von Tussle, who's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Who's Kristen Chenoweth again? I've heard that
She's in
TV
Wicked,
shows.
and
Alright, I think...
she was in that film, that Deck the Wholesome that we watched a wee bit of last
Was
week.
she in a big TV show? No.
Yeah, she's been in loads.
I thought she was like famous for like one of your Gilmore Girls or something.
No.
Not that, but like a show like that. Do you know what I mean? Like a
No, I don't think so.
American kind of show. No. Okay. Right. The last three I have question marks against because I'm not sure if you watched these this year. Did you watch Penny Dreadful this year?
No.
Still get to it. Okay.
I don't know if there was a new season of it this year or not.
Yeah, it finished this year. I'm sure.
Did it? Oh,
Yeah,
right. Well,
it was the last
I've
season.
not seen any of it then.
Empire. You watched that this year?
No, I've still to get around to that. It looks... I wasn't going to bother.
Because of where it was going before, you were kind of get fed up.
I kind of fell off it from the last season. I don't think I've finished the last season. But I seen a trailer for it like last week or something.
Uh-huh.
And it looked pretty decent actually. I like it a lot. I think it's quite a good show. I think the casting is really good. And the music's just catchy. I quite like it. It's quite easy to watch.
Scandal. Watched that this year?
Yeah, I watched that at the start of this year. Came out quite early this year. At least I think it was this year. Maybe it was last year. Pretty sure it was this year.
It was definitely on this year. I know that.
I see, but it's been moved back because
She's pregnant or
she's
something.
pregnant. Yeah.
It was definitely on this year though. I know that for a fact because I saw it getting updated on
Well, with the last
websites.
With the last season, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too attached to it, but it kind of broke my heart a wee bit with the way that it went. She's not wanting anything to do with the president anymore, and it kind of looks like that's a mutual thing.
Right.
Oh God, I can't even remember because it was so long ago. No, it didn't dip by any means. Like the show didn't dip, but it's not where I want it to go. Like, the storyline isn't playing with what I want to happen in my head.
You can't always get what you want. What Jagger once said.
That's very true. But you see Melly, like, fighting to become the president, and you see thingy, oh god, Susan Ross also fighting to become president. But then you see him messing around. You see David Rosen messing around with, like, her and the other woman whose name I can't remember, and it's just it was a bit messy for me this season. Slightly. You see Abby coming back into the team with Kerry Washington and Huck and Quinn, and that was quite nice to see. And then they've got the new addition of Marcus Cornelius Smith Jr., which again is pretty good. I love Greg Henry. He is in it playing Hollis Doyle, which is basically like a Trump kind of character. He's also in Gilmore Girls, and he's in a number of things. You would have seen him in other stuff too. And I just really like him. He plays a scumbag so well. I don't know. I just this season wasn't everything I wanted it to be, which was upsetting. But maybe that's just me. I just kind of want the president and her to finally. But I mean, with the way that it ended the season before, with them being together, but then her getting the abortion and everything, that was hard watching. It's good though. I like it a lot.
Last one's How to Get Away with Murder. We watched that this year. We
Watched
started
the
watching the
first
season.
couple of episodes, and
Wasn't doing it for you.
I'm finding it quite hard to catch. I think it's just my attention span though. I don't think it necessarily
There's the show's fault.
has anything to do with the show, but like one of the episodes is named "We're Good People Now," so you know that it's just going straight back to them trying to go over everything that happened in the last season. You see Frank going through quite a big change, which is quite good because he leaves, and you see that extremely handsome guy going to the quite geeky boy in his IMDb picture with no beard and shaved head, and that's a big change. And Bonnie is kind of more desperate than usual, and I love How to Get Away with Murder with the way that it's done, with the way that it's structured, because you see things happening and then you see a flash forward or a flashback happening, and then you see things happening in the episode and then it flashes forward to something that's going to happen almost at the end of the season, and then it's showing you how they get to that point. So like this season, spoilers, but it showed you what's his name? That's terrible. My mind is just going away from me tonight.
What's his name? Courtney.
I can't remember. Stop! I'm trying to do that. You see Wes, that's what it is. The
Wes.
big spoiler. Stop! Stop rubbing my face.
Wes, Courtney.
It's
Wes.
You see Wes dead. You see her house on
Dead
fire.
Wes.
You see Viola Davis's house on fire, and there is somebody with like the sheet over them, and
Was Wes on fire?
going no, but you see it
Whoa!
looks like he's been murdered.
Your Wes is on fire.
Jesus Christ.
Also, he's been murdered by fire.
No, shut up. It looks like he's been murdered by someone and found outside the house, maybe.
Right.
He's not been burnt or anything, but
Right.
in like the second or third episode, you find out that it's him who's under the sheet.
Is
So
that him?
you don't find out who's
So I'm
under the
getting away
sheet
with murder.
in the first... Shut up. You don't find out who's under the sheet in the first episode. You just see that somebody's under the sheet, and then you see Viola Davis losing it and being extremely upset. So when I seen that, I kind of thought, it's either going to be Wes or it's going to be her boyfriend. And then you find out that it's him that's dead. So that has intrigued me a wee bit. I'm quite...
You could go back to it.
Yeah, definitely going back to it to try and find out how one of the most important characters they get away with killing him off.
What they should have done was kill Wes and then set the house on fire and it destroys all the evidence. But that's what I would do. If I would ever kill you, I'd kill you and I'd just torch,
Yeah, no,
torch
I know.
this joint.
Oh, no. See, well, I always
Take the dog with me, but
I
everything
always
else
thought that you would
could get burnt.
do it the Breaking Bad way and just dissolve me.
Mm. Do you want me to dissolve, baby?
Not particularly, no. Not if I could
Okay.
choose.
I couldn't dissolve you.
Thanks.
Right, that was our jumbo to our episode of TV shows in 2016.
It's gonna make
If
me
you made it
long.
all the way through, well done, because I struggled.
You struggled? You're not the one that has to put up with your crap.
You're not the one that has to edit this shit and upload it.
Well,
So,
you can get out of it and just keep my opinions.
Is
'cause
that
they're the
right?
only ones that matter.
so I will be back. I don't know. We'll be back next week with Rogue One and Fantastic Beasts.
But that's a bit well.
Probably. We might. I was thinking, do you want to do that this week? But then it's Christmas and the weekend. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
And in between Christmas and New Year, I wanted to do like a 2016 in review kind of year. Like go back and look at all the movies of the year and pick
So
our
you
way,
just wanted to
best
do
and worst of the year. But I do want to do Rogue One and Fantastic Beasts at one point.
Yeah.
Although I lied, see in the first part of this episode I said how we're going to be more structured in the next one and do like
Are we
the
not?
structure that I'm going to do. How are we going to do first impressions? But it's been fucking 5 days since we've seen it, and I've already wrote 2 reviews. I think we should
I've
just.
not wrote anything. So.
I think we should just introduce. We'll do like we can pick what we want to do first. Star Wars Fantastic Beasts, read the review, and then we'll just talk about it, and then do
Okay.
the same for the other film.
Okay, that's fine. Are you going to finish this podcast?
Yeah,
Or
probably
are you
should,
just
shouldn't
gonna
we?
connect them together and make them like a 4-hour
Oh,
podcast?
Jesus.
Or-
No, I don't want our listeners to suicide. And if I've done one in the first episode, I get more downloads than I thought it would. I feel like 25 people listen to it, which is probably not a lot on the internet by most standards, but it's a lot for us. Like it's more than we thought, more than I thought we'd listen to it.
Yeah, definitely more than I thought.
So keep doing it.
Yes, thank you
tell
very
your
much.
friends and stuff
Tell
if
your
you like it.
friends.
So yeah, I've been Daniel.
And I've been Courtney.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and thank you for listening.
Bye.